TikTok guidelines. Respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat. Respect each other. If you agree, cool. If you disagree, disagree respectfully. One mic at a time. And hey, we're all civilized up here. I think we could be, have a constructive and well planned out stream. All right, VC, you go. Does love come with conditions?
All right. First of all, I like that. I like the fact that you're setting boundaries. Like the fact that we can agree to disagree. First of all, as men, we can have great conversations.
Absolutely.
So, having said that, does love come with conditions? This comes to me as my perspective as a God-fearing man. And having said that, I follow Christ, man. And he has unconditional love. Having said that, I'm reading books. I'm reading the word as well. And as husbands, it says, love your wife as Christ loved the church. You know, having said that as well, I have to be submissive to God in order to create this fundamental, functional family. I never knew this. I grew up in a broken household, and I seen a lot of stuff, man. I try doing that my day to day. It does not work out, man. It's not healthy. I have two kids, and I don't want them to see the things that I've seen, the things that I live with. So, love is does love come with conditions? I think it's unconditional. You have to sacrifice yourself for the people that you love, as Christ loves the church. So that's just kind of like starting off the topic off.
So let me get more into the context, right? Yes, biblically, agape love is unconditional, right? But we all know with relationships, between men and women, is that what the relationships they have is a conditional love. I think we could all agree that we there's a difference between what is and what should be, right? And we know that what should be is unconditional love, but we all know that what is actually conditional love. So let's break it down. Chris Rock, and I'm gonna quote this throughout the entire stream from time to time. Chris Rock once said that women and children and dogs are loved unconditionally, but men are only loved under the condition that they provide something. What's your response to Chris Rock's quote?
Yeah, that women and children are loved unconditionally.
He said women, children, and dogs. He's a comedian. We want to keep in mind, but he did say women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, but a man is only loved under the condition that he provides something.
Provides. I agree. So this is the thing that again, I say that I don't know if to call you fifth or
You could call me fifth. Yeah, yeah.
all right, fifth of Henny. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, no, so again for me, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys because I feel like transparency shows vulnerability, and vulnerability shows love, and love just shows strength and growth. Having said that, I think at the end of the day, as men, we want to provide, we want to build, we have to grow. At least for me, I have two kids, I have a wife that we're struggling, whatever. But at the same time, though, if I'm seeking acceptance from my wife and my children and not from a higher power, then we have problems that we have to speak. Because I make good money in construction, you know, but yet it's never enough. Bills, well, yeah, we have to build this, we have to do that, and this and that. But where's my acceptance? Where's my love? Where does it actually stand on the foundation of that I can stand on? And the only thing, trust me, the only thing I can stand on is following Christ. I tried everything. I tried the world. I had money. I had everything. But in reality, it's not a foundation. It's constantly growing. Oh, I don't have enough. Let's go. Oh, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. You name it. It's not enough. So it's like, where does that emptiness come? Where does it fulfill the hole that I feel inside? Well, I'm providing for my family. They're eating good. They're sleeping. That's enough for me. But what about you? I'm willing to sacrifice everything for them, family. Okay, cool. But where do you find the satisfaction in yourself, though? You're a human being. You, you're telling me you're not worthy of love? Yeah, but that's what a man does. Nah, 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 nah. No, no. What I was raised, men don't cry. Men don't. We just build, learn, and grow. That's all we do. Nah. Where's the vulnerability? Vulnerability is strength. Vulnerability is knowing that it's okay that you mess up. Get back up. Let's go. Let's move on. I wasn't raised this way. Yet I had to go through a way to learn this way and learn that the best way is Yahweh. Let's go. You
Amen.
know? So, does love come with conditions? I have a family, man, and I'm willing to sacrifice everything that I have. But at the same time, I can't lose myself in the process. I know money is good. I know. I know. I hate to say that, but I know. But in reality, man, there's a hole at the end of the day. Once everything's paid, everything's good, your family's eating everything. But there's something that tells you it's not enough. No matter how much you look, no matter how much you seek, no matter how much you grow, there's always going to be a hole. And trust me, I seeked everything but God. And I found out that the only thing that can fulfill that hole in my heart was God. And I hated God, man. I was an atheist. I hated everything. I hated him with the passion, man. But that same passion is the same passion that I'm giving you guys right now, to tell you that he's real. And there's times that I have no money now. Like, trust me, as soon as I started following him, everything started stripping down. Everything. Oh yeah, you made good money. Bam, done. Oh, I don't want you no more. Bam, everything. And I was like, man, God, I started following you. What happened? Once you start reading the word, he's like, I needed. Trust me, he's like, I needed you to strip everything, the things that I did not give you, in order for you to follow me. I was like, Lord, I lost my family, I lost my kids, I'm losing everything. Good. Now you have me. Let me work. Let me build in you. In the process, I have learned so much. I've helped people so much that I'm strangers, people that needed to hear your testimony. And it's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. I was like, why did you use me? He's like, why not? You prayed for generational curses, didn't you? Isn't this what you asked for? I was like, yeah. Yeah, but I didn't think it was going to be this way. I was like, good. You thought it was your way, not my way. Now you're understanding how I work then. I was like, I don't understand nothing, Lord. Good. My peace surpasses all understanding. Now welcome to you. Welcome to me. Welcome to the faith that I'm giving you. And I'm like, man. And the fact of the matter that even though in the storm, you find peace in chaos. That's just crazy, man. Once you're in the storm, once you understand that you do not understand what the hell is going on, your friends leaving, your family, everything's leaving you. The closest people to you that you thought your day ones, say they leave, man. Once you realize the only thing you can hang on is Christ. And this is the beautiful thing. So yeah, I read again the prompt. Does love come with conditions? Trust me, man. If Christ died for me without all the conditions, trust me, I'm willing to give everything out, because I'm living it. But yet I still have a smile on my face. Yet I still rejoice. Yet I still see and help. And oh man, it's phenomenal. But yet if you like, well, yeah, but you don't have your wife with you, don't have your kids with you, don't have money with you, you used to have all this. Why are you still happy? Because Christ is the only reason why I'm still happy. I still find joy in my heart. I still smile, I still laugh, I still uplift you. It doesn't make sense to me as well. But yet I still do it. Why? Because this is unconditional. And I still help, and I still love, and I still care, and I'm still singing. I'm still, and I do not understand. But yet, yes, my love is so unconditional because he has shown me unconditional love. Because of the things that I went through, because I've overcome, because I'm still here. Believe it or not, I think we as individuals take everything for granted. Yes, we want a better car. Yes, we want a better house. Yes, we want a better apartment. Yes, we want the next level. But yet, let's start at the fundamentals. Do you have two legs? Yes. Do you have two arms? Yes. Do you have air in your lungs? Yes. Do you have food in your table? Yes. Do you have that electric bill paid? Yes. Do you have that gas bill? I don't know about you guys, but I'm living in Michigan right now. And if you don't have that gas bill paid, you're living in -3 degrees, man. You know. But
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, we're losing. I feel like, and I say this for myself, we're losing that grace that he has given us. And it's not about us no more. It's about him. And I used to be this, well, I don't have the best car. I don't have this. I don't have that. When I was making money, I wanted the next best thing. But little did I know, when the only car I had was my transportation to make this money, to pay these bills, to feed my children, to feed everything. And yeah, I realized he humbled me. I was like, you know what? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So unconditional love does exist, but only in the Creator, not in one another, in the Creator. And the best thing we can do is imitate what Jesus has done for us. So that's my 2 cents, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. Zacchaeus, what's up, Zacchaeus? My boy. Zacchaeus, you there?
Hey, I'm still on duty, but I'm gonna give my sense 2 cents, man. Definitely, for sure.
Hey, brother, you know how it is when we come on here. The question: does love come with conditions?
Yes, for human beings, yes, for
Yep.
sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, for human beings, yes, for sure. If you, for example, if you don't provide for your wife and for your kids, that's an issue. That's a huge issue. If you cheat on your spouse, that's adultery. That's an issue. Those are grounds to leave. Those are grounds to leave. It does come with conditions, because if you don't do the right thing by your spouse, if you don't understand her love language, those could become issues. If you don't sit down and spend time and nurture and spend time with each other, that's an issue. Especially if you don't know how to read her love language and you've been with her for a long time, that can become an issue. That can become an issue, and that's conditions. Where God is agape love. That's unconditional. Only God's love is unconditional. But human beings, yes, comes with conditions. Yes, it does. Yes. So the question to that is yes, it does come with conditions, because in many situations, there's people that get divorced over simple things, or break up over simple things. And when you're with each other, God has to be the center of your relationship, right? And you have to know how to be compatible, work things out, love each other, learn to respect and love each other. But if you are disrespectful to your significant other, that's bad. So in a way, it is conditioned. So God loves us unconditionally, meaning that when we do wrong, when we get to the worst condition and the worst situations and the most horrible that God don't leave us. We leave God, but God doesn't leave us. God said, the Bible says He never leave us nor forsake us. So, but God's love is unconditional, but we humans is conditional. So that's my opinion, and that's my word on that. Yes.
Now, Zacchaeus, hey, Mr. Yard Chat, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All
Hey,
right.
Yard Chat, what's going on, man?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, brother. Yes.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
So the brother VC dropped out, but he gave his testimony. I appreciate that. Here's my inspiration for this topic, right? So, and I'm gonna say this throughout the live. Chris Rock said from one of his comedy specials, he said that women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, but a man is only loved under the conditions that he provides something. What do y'all say to that?
I disagree with that because look, his marriage failed. So, but you got to understand, if you go into a marriage with condition, you already set yourself up.
But like, for example,
You know what I mean?
yeah, oh yeah. For example, there's people that sign prenuptial agreements. That's totally conditioned. You know, if you leave me, then you take all my assets. That's already conditioned. But but when it comes to very far in between, when it comes to like having been with someone that loves you, you go through the tough times, the good times, the bad times, the tough times. Yes, I think to a certain limit point, you go through the tough times, the good times, and you stick it out. Good times, go through the bad times meaning that you're struggling, you go through some difficult situations ahead. But if you step out and you cheat on me, then even the Bible says is when it comes, you can leave. When it comes to adultery, you can leave. You can leave. As a person is abusing you, you can leave because you're in a situation now. Now you're fighting for your life. You can leave under those conditions. Yes, you can leave. So adultery and abusive situations, a spouse or a person can leave under those grounds. They can leave because what God calls us to peace. So yes, you can leave under those conditions. You can leave under those conditions. You can, especially if the person's like, I ain't need no help. Listen, I don't need no help. I don't need no godly counseling. No, I don't need no any counsel of any sort. So yes, and those grounds you can leave. You can leave. Yes, but when it comes to condition, when somebody truly loves you and truly wants to be with you and despite your mishaps and your mistakes, I think that's a different story. You know, when you're going through, you're struggling financially, maybe it could be a different story because at least you're striving to get better, you're striving to work hard at your craft. Those are no grounds to leave. But the other things I mentioned about adultery and abuse, those are grounds to leave. So in a way, those kind of conditions you don't want to stay under. So yeah, it depends it really depends, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, but it also, like I was saying before, if you go into a relationship with condition, right? So
Yeah.
you're looking for every condition. So if every condition come up, that's going to, I'm going to leave. No, you have to go in there with unconditional love, because what I mean by that, we oftentimes forget the vows that we took.
Yes.
So, we think what bad times are: adultery, stepping outside of marriage, whatever it is, that's bad times.
Those are bad. Oh yeah.
See, we focus so much on the negative in marriage instead of the positive. So if you put condition on something, to me, I don't support that because I don't support what Rick Ross said because he said everybody else but him. So he put himself in a box that you put it over your head that it's not going to work because you said everybody else have one condition about me. So these are my condition. It didn't work. So I would never take advice from him. Like what he's saying, it did not work. Why would I take advice from someone marriage didn't work?
That's a fact. That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
here's how I take that, right? So there are many ways to attack this. I don't think he said that because he's just talking about him. Look at the divorce rates. Look at the way some relationships end. And, you could also pick from that. I mean, we just talked about this on another show, right? About how who divorce who more. And because a condition is, you just mentioned, infidelity is a condition. In terms of it can end on that condition. Provision, right? Zacchaeus, you mentioned provision. Now,
Yeah.
me and you both know that one of the top things or the top thing that is used is this. That man better be doing X, Y, Z, otherwise I'm out.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, some women. Oh
Right.
yes.
Right. So those are conditions. And many women will tell you, well, you've had women who have lost their job and a man stays, but you've had men who lost their job. What happens to the woman? Most times.
She bounced because she can't, she bounces because she can't take the stress and she can't take, and women, they lean on security a lot. They lean on security a lot. And if they feel overwhelmed and stressed, a lot of them will bounce. You're not bringing nothing to the table. You're not bringing anything. And it's all on her financially. Oh man. She more than the man. They will bounce because they're like, I didn't sign up for this. This is too much stress on me.
And you want to know why there's a high rate why women divorce faster than men? Because
Yes.
women put condition a certain qualification, and if you got married, man's making good money, now you're on hard times. Now, even if she got to pick up the slack, that's what you have to do because you're one unit until that man get on his feet and make a way. You can't complain. So you went into marriage in condition. So this is why women get divorced. The condition is, oh, he lost his job. And guess what? She's looking for somebody else that could provide her condition better.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So when you go in a certain relationship or marriage, condition, I'm saying you setting yourself up because you're saying, oh man, anything could happen.
Oh
Man
yes.
could have a job, big time job. He could have a company. He having some major setback. Things happen. Start losing money, bad investment. Things.
Oh
You want
yes.
to leave him now? So that wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
not love. That's fake love entwined in materialistic things.
Yeah, because how much people stick to the vows when it says, "To love do you part, that till the death do you part, for good times and bad times,
For
till death do
richer
you
or
part,
poorer.
or richer or poorer."
But do anyone else hear about? They heard about the good times. But when it comes down to the challenges in life, they don't want that. See, when you go through challenges, guess what that builds? Trust, love, endurance. That's what it builds.
Yes.
You think because you go into marriage, everything's going to be peaches and cream? No, because you
No.
both got to learn to trust each other in hard times and good times. But if one person went into marriage and said, well, man, listen, everything is going good, but this condition, if this thing went like this, I'm out.
Oh yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
y'all, before y'all keep going, I let somebody up. Unique, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello?
Hey, how you doing, Unique?
Hi.
Okay, now
So I,
hold on before you start talking.
Okay.
Now, I'll let you up this time because remember last time I said you got to have a profile pic, but I let you up because you've proved in the comment section since you've been watching the streams that you're not a troll. So I trust you. All right. I have faith in you. All right. So,
Okay.
all right. So, the rules are watch your language, respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat. If you disagree respectfully. We're all adults here. You know what I'm saying? And, have fun, answer the question, and then you can get into the topic with everyone else. Does love come with conditions? Go.
Yes. Thank you, Miss the Fifth, in your chat for letting me up. I'm not a troll, I promise. Does love come with conditions? They do come with conditions because a woman is not going to love a man for free. And when a woman does say, I'm going to love you, do anything, she's lying. I do agree with what they are speaking on, that women do love with conditions, because if you lose he was speaking saying that if you're married and you lose your job, a woman will leave because if a woman will leave, and I'm a woman, she will leave because she signed up, she got married, and for better or for worse, yeah, she said it to get through the marriage, but with losing your job, you lost the security. And so since the security is gone, she don't want to give the rest of her life to somebody to see when the security is going to happen. She doesn't have the patience to be like, okay, I'm going to get through this with you, and I'm going to love you through this, and I'm going to put us on my back and take care of you until you can get your job back or whatever. A lot of women don't want to do that because they married so they could be a stay-at-home mom, be a housewife. They did not get married so they could work. They got married so they don't have to work, and he has to work. So if that's the dynamic and that's her intentions, even if she don't speak on it, it will show later in the marriage. She got married for help. She didn't get married for love. Elaine there.
Wow. I see your point of view on that one, brother, and I also don't see your point of view. But see, you're saying they don't marry for love. Wow.
I'm a woman.
That's deep.
I wouldn't.
That's
Sorry.
from a woman point of view, and said that women just marry from illicit. Yeah, we know, but I don't believe all women marry just for things. I believe there is some women out there married for real love and want to build a life together with a man. And when hard time come, yeah, it's going to be hard, but you also gotta think twice. Outside of cheating and and all that. Just think about, he lost his job, things not going good, it's a struggle, but she have to pull away for a little bit. But he's saying, listen, I'm out there looking for a job. He's working, but it's not like the best job, but he's not have a lot of income coming in, but she's holding it down. He's hanging in there, he's contributing, but not a lot. She's complaining, yeah, things are rough. But when you look back, and you have to look back and say, wait a minute here, I took a vow. Okay, so you leave that man 2 years down the road. The man life 100% different because you couldn't wait. What happened to the endurance through the marriage? What happened to get the marriage strengthen, marinate, grow? It don't happen overnight. You gotta let it grow. It have to grow, just like you put a seed in the ground. It's not going to grow overnight. It takes some time. You let it grow, and guess what? The more it's in that ground, more you're going to concern for it. You have more love for it. Like, man, I got to make sure everything is good.
That's true.
Marriage. That's marriage. So if you go into marriage on that point of view, automatic, it's not going to work because you looking for a way out.
That's true, but I'm not speaking for all women. I'm not saying all women are like that.
Yeah, and I took it. I took it like that. You're not speaking for all women in general, but that was a very strong statement. You know what I mean? That's a very strong statement.
But then you got to think about the resentment is going to create, because women just say, okay, she doesn't complain and she doesn't leave him, right? And she started working and everything like that. It can go two ways. Either she started working and she starts seeing, like I would say, the freedom with work, all the things that she had to do in the home that she no longer does in the home, and she works outside the home and all the stuff that he does inside the home, right? Or it can create resentment. I'm working. This is not what I plan to do as a wife. Yes, do better or for worse. I'm helping you out. I'm doing that. And because I love you, but I'm never going to look at you as the same man again.
But my
And it
question is,
creates resentment within the woman. She shows it over
oh,
time, but she
okay,
doesn't have the same respect for him that she had before he lost his job.
okay. Let me ask you a question. So you get married today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is good. Your husband a good job, very good job. Everything is good. He lost his job because in a car accident.
Right.
What are you going to do? You have 2 kids. What are you going to do?
I'm going to stick through it, but I'm going to start building a way out.
Wow.
Because he
Wow.
have him losing his job, him being in a car accident, that's really, really sad. But it also told me 2 things. We don't have no money in savings, no nothing. If he lost his job, I put all our livelihood in his hands, and I got 2 kids to take care of, and now I got him to take care of. He's in a car accident, so now I'm jumping between the
Okay.
hospital, the kids' school, picking them
Okay.
up, and everything. I am technically a married single mom now,
Okay.
and I have to do all these things. So it
Okay.
is going to create some personally for me, it's going to create some resentment. That car accident was not his fault. That's inevitable. But if I'm giving my life to you, which it's personally for me, if I'm giving up my life to you, it better be some big accolade financial barriers in the way. If anything happens, if he get cancer, if I get, for our family to keep going on a steady path that we're going on, because now kids are involved, we're messing with their futures. So, and he needs me to be there by his side. I can be there
Okay.
by his side, and since I'm loving him, and I'm not marrying him for money, and I'm marrying him for love. Yeah, I'm gonna have some type of resentment against it if it was no financial barriers created for our family.
But okay. What if the situation reverse?
If the sister went and I got into a car accident,
Yeah.
okay, well, he got to do everything that I was going to do. He got to take care of the kids. He got to take care of me. If he
So
decides to leave
no,
me, he
no,
can
no.
take care.
If he decide, but you heard what you said, you
Yeah,
want a way out. You didn't hesitate. You said you
yeah.
want a way out. You're looking for a way out. You
Hmm.
see the difference how a man think? You know what? Let me tell you on a man point of view.
I'm not a man, so I don't know how men
No,
think, but I
okay,
would
but I'm
love to
telling
hear
you from a
your
man point of
viewpoint.
view. See, that's why there's a big difference. Here, a man point of view. Do you know how many men will stick by their wife when the wife is not able to take care of themselves or anything? The husband will be there. I don't have the statistics, but I read it. I know men stick around. I work in the health field and a lot of females in the hospital. And guess who come? That's fact. Guess who come to see them?
The
Guess
men,
who come to see them? Their husband.
I think it's return on investment really that has a lot to do with it
No, no, no,
because
no. Listen, you hear
I'm
what I'm saying? You're not following. Hear what I'm saying? I respect what you're saying, but I'm trying to see where your mind is at. Let me tell you something. If you're both married and you lost your job, car accident, whatever the situation is, those are the bad times, as they say, the challenges. The challenges. And if you can't challenge and settle and go through the challenge with this man, you're going to do the same thing with the next man. You're not going to be happy because you're always looking for something better.
I don't
In
want to
the
settle.
back of your head, in the back of your head, you're looking for something better. Because you heard what he said? Women not going to marry for love, they're going to marry for condition.
Yes.
But you could have both. But you refuse. You go with a condition and just, I'm not for me, I'm out. I'm out. But a
Yeah,
man
like
always
if
want
I'm giving
to,
you the rest of my life, it's not
but the
going to
man
come
is
with
not giving
okay.
his rest of his life as well.
He is, but with me being a woman, if I'm marrying a man and I'm saying I do and I'm going to love you for better or for worse, you know, I'm giving you the rest of my life, it's definitely going to come with, I would say, a price tag on what you're supposed to do as a man, because you're supposed to up
Yeah.
my life, make it better, right? I'm supposed to be your helpmate. I'm supposed to
Hmm.
be there for you. I'm supposed to take care of the household and everything like that. If I'm doing that, and this is going to be for the rest of my life, certain barriers need to be put in place in case anything happens. And then if we have kids,
Yeah, certain things
more
have to
barriers
be.
need to be put
Yeah,
in
certain
place.
things. Certain things, of course, certain things will be in place if you're
But if women
really.
settle and they feel like they're settling, they will grow resentment if they don't leave. And they won't respect that man, the same man they married. They will not respect him the same, and it will show over the course of years. Women do that. They stay in a marriage and they want to be divorced, but they don't divorce because they believe, divorce is not an option. So they stay, and they will literally make that man miserable on purpose because he did not keep up his end, regardless if he has cancer or if he get into a car accident. The what he promised has been destroyed.
I see your point. I do see your point. I'm not against you. I see your point. I see your point. I look at these, you know, situation outside the box, inside the box, all different type of views. You know what I mean? Perspective. You have to look at it because you know, we society, we want immediate gratification. We don't like things to grow together. Everyone want to come in a relationship. This is mine, that's yours. And when I leave, this is mine, that's yours. I understand all of that. See, if no one decide to do things together and say, listen, let's build this. Yeah, things could happen. That could happen. Anything could happen. Listen, this could set up that. Anything could happen. Insurance, whatever. You have to speak about that. You're not going to go into marriage blind. But I'm saying the number one thing when you're going to marriage is for the love, what you have for that person. And you tell that person, man, we're going to build a life together. We're going to do this. We're going to build a business. We're going to have kids. We're going to do it together. That's why you'll come together as a union to grow together. And that union come with challenges that maybe you might want to leave the marriage. You want to. I said, I'm done with this. I can't do it. It's going to come with some challenges, and you have your feelings, and he also have his feelings. But you have to listen. You're made a covenant and agreement, except for being verbal abuse and physical abuse and all sexual abuse, all those negative things. I'm not talking about that.
No, I'm not talking about the negative
You know what I
things,
mean?
but
But what the thing is, but me, I would never be comfortable if I know a woman who is just there for the convenience and when things get rough, I don't have a backup or vice versa. That's not a good feeling. How you
she's not going
expect
to make it obvious, though. She's not going to make it obvious where you're going to
you
find
think
out.
men don't know certain things? Men will act stupid. That you don't know. Men will act dumb like they don't know nothing. But no.
Okay, well, just say if she didn't marry for materialistic, right, and she is married for love, and she wanted to build the foundation, and she built the dream, and she wanted 2 kids, and he got 2 kids, right, and she got everything she asked for, and he got everything he asked for in a marriage. They got the legacy built, they doing good, and she just realizes that the stress level of this life is too much for her to handle, and she finds out 5 years later after they were married, right? And so she like, I can't take care of the kids and take care of you and take care of me. I feel like a depleted mother and wife. I have to take care of everybody, and who's taking care of me? And what happens then?
I mean, I see your point. Yeah, that's stress and all that overwhelming and what they call it, afterbirth, all that stuff. Yeah, it happens.
But the woman has to go through it,
It
so the woman
happened,
is
but guess
supposed to
what?
just
Guess
stay.
what? No, I'm not saying that. That's your choice. That's your personal choice what you do. See, people think because you're in a marriage, listen, even though you're in a marriage, you have your own personality, your own brain, your own thoughts, your own feelings, how to do certain things. But you're come to a neutral, or that's how it goes. We're gonna do it like this, or boom, boom, no issue. Whoever does it best, we agree. Yeah, you do that, okay, boom, boom. There's a lot of give and take in marriage compromise. There's a lot of things.
So what if she showed that she was compromising for the 5 years and
Well,
she's been
that's her
compromising.
choice. She have to make a choice. No,
What if
see,
she
marriage.
become miserable and her mental health
Then
declines?
she
Then
have to
what?
make a listen. If she sit down and say, "Listen, man, you know, we try. It's not working. Miserable." But there have to be a point where, okay, you talk about it. You talk about it. But change don't happen overnight. It could, you know what I mean. But you have to give it some time. I'm not saying for you to, you know, drop everything. No, I'm saying it's up to that person. It's up to you. It's your choice what you do. Nobody's holding a gun to your head or, yeah, or you could leave the marriage anytime you want. No, see, the thing is, people think in a marriage, if you want to leave the marriage, you leave the marriage. That's your choice. You know what? Your marriage, just because a piece of paper is a covenant, it's between you and God. The piece of paper don't mean nothing. It's what you feel inside. Whatever you feel and the decision you make, that's on you. You can
I
never
really
let no one else feel guilty. You know, if you in a marriage, you're not happy, and you tell man, listen, I want to get out, and you say, I want to get out, 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 I want to get out. Eventually, the man say, okay, if you really want to go, go. If you really want to go, go.
So would you say that the vows is kind of misleading because
No,
a
no, I'm
man
not
is
saying.
believing in the vows that this is really going to work and that this is really going to happen and this what his for the finance his fiance that's going to be his wife she say these vows to him out of love and he said it to her on their wedding day and he's believing that this marriage is going to go like that and then when it doesn't, does it break his spirit or his heart to ever continue to want to be married again? Like, does it throw in a towel for him?
Listen, men. Some men, you see a lot of men out there get married 2, 3 times, 4 times. You know, because they believe in marriage. You see some women do the same thing. Then you have some women that marriage 6, 4, 5, 6 times. Married is the man 2 times, 3 times. Get back to that person another time, and that. You know what I mean? But that's their choice. You see, the thing is, even though you're in a marriage, you have to make some personal choice in it for you. If you're not happy and you stay in a marriage because you said boom, 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 then you have to be content with what decision you make. But if you're not happy and you stay there, who are you going to blame? You can't blame it on the kids. You can't blame it on no one. You made a choice.
Right,
No
you made
one,
a
no one
choice,
could.
so
You could make
and
no one. No, you know, no. Let me finish. I'm give you the
sorry.
ground. No one could decide what for you to do, and you always have a choice. Even if someone have a gun to your head, you always have a choice to do what they say to do or not. It's a choice. You always have a choice, and you have to take accountability for your choice. Nobody's telling you if you're in a marriage you're not happy, go. If you dare complain about that, go. If you're not happy, go. That's how I look at it. Am I wrong? But I'm being honest. Go ahead.
I'm being honest too. I'm just saying, people change their minds and women change their minds too. After they have kids, their mind can change from going through postpartum and this very vulnerable state for them to be in. And she could be the wife that a guy wants all the way up to like just after they have the kids and everything. And she realizes that this life is not the life that she thought she wanted because of the part she has to play in it and taking care of multiple people, the kids, just say they got 4 kids, right? Because he got a good job, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they got 4 kids, and she taking care of him. So after
Mm-hmm.
she been with the kids all day, then she got to take care of him, cook for him, clean for him, all that stuff, keep the house uphold, and she's been going on like this. And no, it happens over time, like you said, it does happen over time. And she been telling him for years, like, I'm kind of stressed out, but I'm gonna work through it because I love my family and I love you. It's a lot of women who take care of their kids even though they're not ready to be a mother. It's a lot of women that do that, or a wife that they got married, they take accountability, and she took accountability for everything. She's doing everything that she said she was going to do. But just say she wake up one day and she's like, I need to go to the hospital because I am not going to be alive if I continue to end up this day. And the man doesn't understand because he's like, okay, you're a great wife, you're a great mother, you've been You say you was kind of stressed out, and you're in therapy, and we're in marriage. I'm doing everything and you're participating. And goes to the hospital, and she gets inputted into the psych ward. And he goes to visit her, right? And she says, "I want to stay here for 2 years. If you love me, you'll let me stay." Then what?
Okay. You also got to look at the overall factor. Is she endangers herself, her mother, to mother the kids, what is her mental stable? They're going to give her evaluation. So it's not up to her. She want to stay for 2 years. They're going to give her evaluation. But if they say, okay, she has to be evaluated, then listen, then he have to step up, and he have to do what he have to do as a father and take care of the kids.
Right, he got to take care of the kids, work the
Yes,
job,
of
and
course he have to do. Yes, if she's not well, if she's not mentally well, and hear this now. And we our first show February 8th on your chat, we doing a multi-platform. We speak about mental illness as well. That's going to be our first topic, and that's a big topic to go in
are you
every.
inviting me?
I'm inviting you, but not this show coming up because we are booked. But my daughter also is on the platform, and Zachary also, Mr. Fifth. We all, so we want to bring this vibe to YouTube, but we're going to stream through StreamYard. But at the end of the show we speak. But so that's what I'm saying. So that means this person, and I do have experience in mental health as well. Okay, so I do understand the empathy and the compassion, and I work with adults, kids, teenagers, all that. I know the dynamic. It's not easy. It's not easy when you have a person that don't understand your point of view, the issue that you're having. And maybe he will not understand it, but he have to have some type of empathy, some type of compassion, simply something, show some type of emotion to give you some type of support. And even though I don't know what you're going through, because no one know what you're going through, no one does. You can only empathize to what the person is saying and the action. And you can say, okay, I understand. But over the years, yeah, some women crashed out because they're going through a lot of things. Yeah, it
So
happened.
what if she turned around and blamed him for everything, but she's been masking how she felt for a long time? Like, she every now and then she'll tell him, like, I am kind of stressed out, but I really love having a family, and I love having you as a husband, but I'm a little crashed out. And so once she go to the mental ward and she get evaluated, and they tell to her husband she needs to stay here for 2 years, it'll be really great for her health, because she really
Okay.
does not want to be in the role of a wife. It's killing
Because
her.
her mind can't handle it, so she have to get well. And
Do you
her
think he should
mental,
stay?
if it mean for her to be mentally well and function as a person, not say 100, because we're not normal, but as a human being to make decisions and choices, yes, because she have to. If someone is mentally ill and not capable to make wise decision, the decision that they make is compromise.
But what if
And
she turn around and blame him for everything? Because she like, okay, well, before we got married, I didn't have no kids, and you gave me these kids, and now I have to run this household that you bought for us, and it's all your
she
fault.
got to take accountability as well, because he didn't lay down by himself. She was there.
No, he didn't, and she carried the kids, and it's definitely her
You
fault
have to take
too.
accountability as well. It
But her
both of.
accountability is going to a mental health ward.
Then as a father, he got to take a responsibility. But she's still the mother. She's still a mother.
Do you think he'd be stressed out with having to do this kid's school schedule and
No,
work and
listen,
job
your
and da da
thing.
da?
Listen, your thing. Men love hard work. Men love challenges. Men don't listen. When men gotta work, they don't stress out. You know when men stressed out? When someone is a nagger in their ears, and it make you. Do you know when somebody's in your ears, how that make you feel? And you're doing the best as you can, but you know what need to be done. But some people don't understand. There's a lot of dynamic in between that things need to work out, and you have to be patient. Rome didn't build overnight. Things don't happen quick. This new generation, microwave man, immediate gratification. You have listen, like I said, real love is endurance. Endurance. And when you love yourself, you want the best for yourself, And when you love someone, you want the best for them because you want the best you do for yourself, you're going to do best for them. Because that's what marriage is, a partnership. You're supposed to lift each other. Whatever his weakness is your strength. Whatever your vice versa, he lifts you up.
Like they complement each other is what you're saying?
Compliment each other. But if you know you're not good in accounting and you're doing accounting and you're messing up, and you know this person is good in accounting, and you keep doing it and you keep making the same thing after a while, people are going to say, listen, don't you think this person is good? He's doing your job and he's messing up because he's not in his lane. So if you go in accounting lane, you say, what? This is easy. Boom, boom, boom. Everything's going to be good. Or vice versa. Don't worry. Listen, you know what I mean? I understand, mental illness is huge. It's you know what the statistic of mental illness in America is huge. Huge.
Well, I think I definitely proved I'm not a troll.
You're not a troll. Zacharias, you have anything to say?
Is he gone?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like Empress says, sometimes you have to walk away to preserve. Yeah, you have to, because self-preservation is the number one goal. If you can't
Hey, somebody
preserve yourself,
called
how are you
me.
going to preserve someone else? See, I used to agree with the statement years ago, but I said, no, I can't look at it like that. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. It depends though. What I'm going to say is I don't want people to take it out. Listen, people
Oh,
always say,
yeah.
you cannot put others first over you. That don't make no sense.
Well,
And
to
and, and I have to
compromise, you
come to
have to do that.
this term in life to agree with you. If you don't put yourself first, how are you going to put others? Just like they say, the first thing you do on the plane, you make sure you put that mask on yourself first, then help.
Yeah, take care of yourself first, and
That's
then you can
life.
help others.
Take
Yeah.
care of yourself first, help others. Don't help
Help others.
others and you wind
Yeah.
up being in a ditch. Don't make no
Yeah.
sense. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Zacharias.
Yeah. That's the truth. Now, I agree with everything both of you said too, man. I mean, a lot of things. When it comes to helping each other out and being there for each other, that's
Yeah.
important, man. Even if you're going through some tough times, being there for each other is very, very important, because it's not just the condition of, well, if you cheat on me, It's let's look beyond that, because there's people in marriages or relationships that leave for little. I've seen it during my lifetime, and some people leave for just little or nothing. Even when things are going well. I have I'm not gonna say his name, but I have a friend that just decided to wake up one morning. Not to say that things were going bad. Wake up it's a choice. Wake up one morning and say, I don't want to be married no more. And yeah, and there's people that do that. I don't want to be married. I don't want to be married no more. So, and I always tell people this: make sure before you get married, make sure that you have a little understanding. Have an understanding of the person. Feel them out. Don't just jump into a marriage right away and rush. Always take your time and hear what the Lord is saying about that person, and try to understand. You're not gonna get everything right away, because as time goes on, you'll see. Time is a thing where you see things. You see the bad, the good, the ugly. As time goes on, you see things. And when it comes to understanding that person, you understand that person, the love language and understanding each other, then it can complement each other, and then it's sustainable. But not all the time that is bulletproof. It's only the mercies and grace of God that keeps. That's why I always say you got to put God in the center of a relationship, because it's only the mercy and God that keep you two together. All the trials and tribulations you do go through, and all the bumps in the road you do face, it's got to be the mercy. It's got to be the mercies of God, because without that, man, let me tell you, you'll fall apart like a ton of, like you fall apart like a wall, like a city without a wall. You fall apart. So it comes to challenges, Because I've been married for what 20. I've been Oh my gosh, it's gonna be 20. Oh my, almost 24 years. I'm married for. Oh my gosh. Yeah, time flies. Time flies by.
Yeah.
It certainly flies by, and you get to learn the in and outs. You get to learn each other. But eventually, as time goes on, this is what you want to establish too in a relationship. As time goes on, you become more not just lovers but also friends as well. As time goes on, there's an understanding, and the kids feed off of that too, and the kids see that too. So as time goes on, you see that. As time goes on, you see it. You could take it from me for a person been married for for a very long time. You see it as time goes on. So it's yes, it can come with somewhat conditions, but it should. But if you come into a marriage, I agree with you when you said that, Yarcha. If you come into a marriage with it's condition, this condition, this condition, it's not gonna last long because guess what? After time, like a fruit. After time, it gets rotten. After time, the truth comes out after a while. The truth comes out after a while, and you see that person for who they really are as time goes on. As time goes on. As time goes on. So, yeah, but certain conditions you could work through. Certain situations and conditions you definitely can work through. Things are workable, but it's a choice that you make. Am I able to deal with this person? And patience is the main thing too. 'Cause remember the fruits of the spirit. Patience is also have to rely a factor, because if you're just gonna leave somebody because they're not making enough money, or they're trying but not making enough money. I can understand, but there's people that they don't make enough money, but they try. They try to develop other sources of income. They try to do other things or they try to spend that time. If you know their love language is spending time, they try. They try to make it happen.
Mm.
They try to make it happen. It's all about your efforts too, as well. It's like a flower, or like a garden. In order for you to make the garden healthy, you gotta put a seed in it, and you gotta treat it well, and you gotta grow it, and you gotta make it, and you gotta work at it as little by little, and then to see it grow. Marriage is it's the same thing with marriage. You gotta little by little watch it grow. But if you don't put no effort into it, it's not gonna grow, and eventually you two are gonna drift away. So yes.
So how many levels is it? Because don't you have to work to being a friend, then a girlfriend, another level, and then a fiance, another level, and then being a wife, another level, and then being a mother and a wife, another level. So the levels just keep going?
Yes. Well, yes. Yes. It's all part of it. That's the longevity of it. It's all part of it, because if you go in there with if this don't work out, that don't work out, there's gonna be bumps in the road. There's gonna be some things that you face that you can be like, Lord, I don't know. And when the hard times come, and when trials and tribulations come, this is where Jesus comes in. When trials and tribulations come, you're gonna need to both hold hands, and that's why you can't be unequally yoked. You need to both hold hands and shout in the name of the Lord, and watch God work, because not all the time things are gonna be easy. Not all the time things are gonna be rough. Look at the economy. Things are going up in price. I'm working right now as we speak. Things are going up in prices, right?
Yeah.
Right? Things are going up in prices, but two heads are better than one. But this is why some people are married like 4, 5, 6, 7 times, because they treat marriage they treat marriage like a condition. Oh, if you're not satisfied, it's an emotional. You're not satisfying me. You're not making me happy. That not knowing that happiness is within, and God is the author of happiness, and He's a Prince of Peace. But also knowing that nobody can make you happy long as if you're happy. If you're not happy within, no matter who you with, that person not gonna make you happy, right?
So wait, I got a question.
Yeah.
if you are happy within and you are peaceful within and without, then if you get into a relationship, then you're not happy and it's not peaceful for you to be in a relationship. Even if the guy is a really great guy, then what?
Okay, if you're in a if you're in a relationship, you should both become. Have you ever heard the term complimenting each other? Like when you compliment each other.
What if a woman think of that as a job?
Well, if you enjoy that person's company, and you enjoy their company, she enjoy your company, you enjoy her company, and you're excited to be together. Is put the love making aside, but you just enjoy being with each other. You just enjoy spending that time with each other. You enjoy each other's company, but you complement each other as well. In other words, that person, they don't bring the worst out of you. You just complement each other, right? So it's more like it is a complimenting each other. So it's more like a thing where you're just happy to be together. Not that they make you happy. It's just that you just enjoy each other's company, and you just enjoy being with that person. No matter what you do, you can take a walk in the park. You don't even have to go to a restaurant. You can sit, watch TV, watch Netflix, and enjoy each other's company, like two friends. That's how it should be.
It should be like that, but I'm
Yeah.
asking though, like, what if they do compliment each other, but what if the guy's like, I want to see the other side of you, like I want to love you and I want you to love me back, and he just feels like he's loving her, but she can't love him in the way that he wants to be loved. Then what?
Then you gotta go and get some kind of, I would say, godly counseling, some spiritual counseling, and maybe sit down and find out, and maybe communicate better and find out, okay, what is your love language? What do you enjoy? And how can I compliment you? How can you compliment me? And what's your love language? If you can understand each other like that, and get a better understanding. Because listen, I know what for example, I know what my wife, I know what she likes. I know her love language already. So what I do is I try to fulfill her love language. She likes spending time, and I say, okay, you like spending time, so I take time out of my busy schedule and I find time to spend with her. And she loves it. We don't have to be doing nothing. You don't have to be doing nothing big. Just spending time together, enjoying, just conversation with each other, back and forth, enjoying each other's moment. Once you find out what the person, what their love language is, then you have a better understanding of that person. Yeah.
Okay, so
I,
what
Hey,
type
I,
of
I, hope,
wife
I,
do you
I
think
hope
I
I
am?
answer. I hope I answer your question.
hey, Zacchaeus, real quick, unique. I'm gonna get to you. Just give me 1 second. Hey,
Um,
Zacchaeus, earlier you mentioned prenups, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
All right. Earlier you mentioned prenup. Hey, you know why the prenuptial agreement was created?
You know what? I never really I never dived in deep into that. No.
I'll say this, right? So prenuptial agreement was created because of the laws of the land of how the family court system works already, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I don't know if I agree that if a man comes in with a prenuptial agreement that he has 1 foot out the door. You didn't say that. I know you didn't say that verbatim,
No, I
but
didn't say
you
that.
but you
No.
did no, you didn't say that, but you did mention that being like a condition, right? In the
Yeah.
condition category, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like going into the marriage already with like a release button. But I would
Yeah.
say this, I'm gonna ask you this question and then you're gonna be like, okay, I get it. Is the divorce court fair to men?
No.
Okay, let's add more context, right?
Yeah.
So most men marry women who make less money than them, right? And
Right.
that's because of the adverse of women typically only want to most cases, only want to marry men that make more money than them,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Not only more money, but women typically go after men who have more acquired assets than them prior
That's
to
true.
getting married, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Because I would say those are the conditions that women look at. He's got for example, he's got a home, he's got a business, he's got boom, boom, boom. Wow, he's a great catch, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And as men, we don't have that criteria on women. We don't care if a woman has all these other like financial assets, because at the end of the day, we know that the responsibility as far as us providing for the family is going to be on us anyway, right? We just want a
Right.
wife who loves us and respects us, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Right,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
For them, ideally, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing a prenup does is guard the assets that you had before you came into the marriage. It doesn't. The assets that you acquire in a marriage still get divvied out.
Yeah.
So I would say that if a man signs a prenup, if a man brings a prenuptial agreement into a marriage, my opinion,
Hmm.
that he's only doing that to combat the laws of the land that's already unfair to him in the first place. What's your
Okay.
response to that, my brother?
Well, that's a fair shake, because it's been many times where if he doesn't do a prenuptial agreement, he'll take away all his hard work, because you look at it this way, that here you have a man that's an athlete, or you have a man that has a business, and he worked I'm talking from the ground up. He worked. He worked. It was blood, sweat, and tears. He put into himself. He put into his business. He put into himself. It was blood, sweat, and tears he put into that. And for somebody to come because of their emotions, and because they have a emotion of feeling happy, to take that all away, that's unfair, That's unfair. Or take half of that away, his hard work, blood, sweat, and tears,
One seat
is
the front desk.
it,
WS.
that's unfair, Yeah.
Hey, Unique, you had something to say?
Yes, on the prenup agreement. I think if a man presents a prenup agreement and we're finna get married, I would sign it. I would not have a problem with it, because I definitely want you to protect yourself in this marriage. And if we ever do divorce, you have everything that you came in with. I also would be able to love
And
him on a
also, so
different
do you.
scale.
And also, so do
Yes,
you.
but
You get to keep right. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I will be able to love him on a different scale. But I also know that what the agreement with him having a prenup agreement, I'm gonna have a prenup agreement too. So we both gonna sign on the same day. Also, so I'm gonna look at the marriage not as I'm gonna look at it as love. I love you unconditionally, but I'm also gonna look at it as everything that I benefit from having two people instead of one person, I can do it twice as more. So this is my advantage for me to come up more on being in this marriage, because financially it's not going to hurt me. And that
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm not being cynical. Can you repeat that? You said
okay,
before you said come up. I just want to make sure I heard you clearly. That's all.
yeah. So it's going. I would sign a prenup agreement. I would sign his, and he would sign mine. I know that this is a come up, and when I say come up, I know that I will be able to expand my knowledge, like just say get degrees, get that really good job that I've been trying to get, but since now I have another person, two hits is better than one. Now I can get that job because I have somebody backing me, right? He gonna watch the kids while I'm working my job. I'm gonna watch the kids while he working his job. So I can make, instead of making just say 40,000, now I can make that 100,000. Because if we ever get divorced, you can't touch the 100,000 I'm making a year at all. So I'm a benefit from having a prenup of my own, protecting my assets as he to protect his. I know I'm gonna be okay. So I feel like it's a safety measure, definitely. With signing his and him signing mine. It's not going to be, I'm going to love you through it, but I'm not going to have that same respect and that same, compromising on my end for him, with him having that prenup that he would have for me with signing that prenup. Because
Okay,
if we
stay.
divorce, it's nothing, no benefit.
Okay, so stay right there. Prenups are to protect before. Once you're together, say like me and you are married, right? Because I just paid attention closely to what you're saying in terms of the
Okay,
point that you
baby.
made about,
Okay.
where I'm signing his and he's signing mine. So it's almost
Hmm.
like you're saying that your prenuptial agreement could be different from his. But before I get to that, let's say me and you are married and we start a business together. Our business is successful. If we get a divorce, we're both entitled to the assets of that business, right?
No, because my agreement is going to say something totally different on my prenuptial agreement. We're going to sign one
Tell me what
before
it says. Yeah.
marriage. So in my agreement, if I outsigned the beginning of it before, like I had this before we came in, but during, we're going to sign a prenup of marriage 6 months into the marriage. We're going to sign this. The business that we have, we're going to put that under the agreement that if we get divorced, I get 80% and he gets 20.
Wait a minute. The business that you guys created, not the business before, but the business you
Right.
two created together, you're going to tell him that he should get 20 and you get 80?
I get 80 because I had to just say we have, if we have children, the cause is if we have children, then I get 80% of the business because I had to risk my life to have our legacy, right? And I did that. And then also, if just say if we don't have children, I married you and I gave the rest of my life to you. I'm putting value on my life because I could have just remained single. But I loved you, so I married you and I took our vows and I'm taking them seriously. 80% should go to me because I still gotta take care of myself. If we get a divorce, you gotta take care of yourself. But it's gonna be easier for you with being a man than it is gonna be for a woman going out and back into the work field.
Mr. Yarchat,
Oh my God.
I'm
Red
sorry, I think I
flag.
gave y'all a headache.
Red flag. Red flag. Red
um,
flag.
oh
You know what? You
no.
know what you're doing? Your marriage be like a competition.
No, it'll be a power dynamic for
Competition.
me. It won't be,
Com-
it'll be based on love, but it would be
nah.
definitely in
What
with
from
power.
girl? Be honest. For what you speaking about, I didn't hear nothing about love. Everything is about money.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It'll start off with love. Love will be the foundation that I'm marrying into,
No,
and
no, no. You
power
cannot. You
will be
cannot.
the
You
end
cannot
of it.
love. You cannot have money and love. You can, but in this situation, your money. You love the money more than the love itself.
Okay, I can see that.
So listen, check this out. What female got to understand is you can never match a man. I hope that didn't go over your head. You will never match a man, and you would never can compete with a man. I don't know who told your guys that line, but you're buying it.
No, I
You buying it to a T, girl. Keep it honest. That's what this platform about. Keep it real. Keep it 100% real.
well,
Because what you're projecting, a God as my witness today, I will never marry you because it's red flags right there.
oh no, I wouldn't say I'm marriage material. I have been married, but I had got annulment, so I
Thank
know that I'm
God.
not
Thank
marriage
God.
material.
Thank God. Thank
Yes,
God.
I agree with you. Thank God. I choose not to be married. The reason why this prompt stuck out to me was because I definitely did love with conditions, and that's why I prompted the annulment myself because I thought about it like 6 months down the line. I was like, oh my God, my whole life is gone. I'm gonna give my whole life to you. Wait a minute, and I start to freak out, and I'm like, no, I don't want this.
It was
I
scary,
don't want
right?
to
It
take
was
care of
scary.
you. I got scared. I was like, wait a minute.
I
No,
understand.
I can't do this. Not for the rest of my life. So I did the annulment.
Okay.
And he didn't understand my reason for it. He was just like, I don't understand. Like, you love
Kids,
me, you're
kids
doing
involved?
everything. Huh?
Kids involved?
No. No kids involved. My kids were involved after I had got an annulment. I would say 2 years later, I
Well,
started
wait,
to have kids.
wait.
Yeah,
Oh my
I know.
God. Listen, Mr. Fitz, go on that one. I have to meditate on this one for a bit. I have to meditate on this one.
I don't meet the criteria to technically be up here. I did get married. I know what it takes to be married. I said the
So
vows not out of respect for the man, but I said the vows out of that it was going to benefit me. I took accountability after we got married and was like, you know what? I don't want to ruin your life and I don't want to ruin mine because I'm only going to create resentment and it's only because I don't want to be here. So instead, I want you to go marry somebody that actually wants to marry you and be with you for the rest of their life. So I had kids after that, and I decided I wanted to devote my life to my children and not a man. So my kids do have my last name. My legacy is built.
So, sorry, Mr. Are the kids involved? Not, excuse me, the father involved with the kid's life?
No, the father is deceased.
Wow,
Can I
man.
answer the topic?
hey, before you talk, um, your tag name, right?
I saw
Your
that you
tag
asked
name.
me. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
understand what's wrong with it. What are
Okay.
you upset about? Are you upset with
I,
it or do you not like it?
I could easily answer that.
Okay.
Okay. If I had, can I come on your stream if I had a tag that says weak woman fear? Why?
What do you mean why? Because it's your tag? What does
What?
that have to do with me? That's why?
Because wouldn't that indicate that he may be a troll?
No. You can tell someone's trolling from how many followers they have. It's mostly new accounts. And if they're children.
Yeah, I agree. As a host, TikTok doesn't let you go to their profile. So the only thing I see is your tag name. It
Okay.
doesn't let me, okay, I'm just letting you know, it doesn't let me go to their name. It doesn't let me go to their profile for some reason. If I was a guest, it would let me. But for some reason, as a host, it doesn't let me go to their profile to see them. So the only thing I can go by is profile pictures and names. Okay. So we're very big on respect up here. So I'll let you talk, but we're very big on respect up here. Okay. Because, we're all adults and I think we can have a very healthy conversation. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm definitely into respect as well. I don't
oh,
tolerate no disrespect. I just came up here
okay.
for the topic. I didn't come up here to troll, and I'm a grown married woman, so I don't see me trolling anyone.
Okay. You can
Does
go ahead
love
and answer the topic. Yeah.
does love come with conditions? Of course. If you break any of my boundaries, which is conditions, is if you break up any of my morale, any morals I have, and any boundaries I have are conditions. If you break any of those against me, then yeah, love comes with conditions. I think everybody have their own boundaries and their own morals. So if you get with another individual, they have boundaries and they have morals, and you have boundaries and you have morals. So if you guys come to an agreement, I won't do this because I don't like that, and you won't do that because you don't like that. If those are broken, then there's consequences, which is you leaving them or you stop doing something for them that they needed from you. So, yes, love definitely comes with conditions because humans come with conditions, society comes with conditions.
Um, yeah. So I want to say this, right? Because I said I was going to say this throughout the live. What inspired this topic is something that Chris Rock said on one of his comedy specials. And he said, I'm just quoting what he said, women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, but a man is only loved under the condition he provides. What's your response to that?
Heard that. I've actually heard that a few times, and I've actually seen that comedy special. It's been a while though, so it's kind of weird to still be using it. Like I haven't heard it in a while. But my response to that is that that's completely not true. If a dog bites its owner, once again, that love came with conditions. If a dog bites its owner, guess what? Consequences. The dog will get put down. So, you know, you said, and I think you said babies.
Yeah.
Said babies. That people like different children all the time. You got people who favoritize different kids as well. If you are not in the best of what the parents see you in a certain light, or what the parents want you to be as, you may be the black sheep of the family. You may be the child that gets looked over. So, because as I said before, everything and everybody in the world and the universe comes with conditions. So it's like even a mother can love her older child and not her middle child, just because the older child listens to her more, and she likes the older child maybe because they're doing everything that she wants them to do, while the middle child is lacking in a lot. So you have favoritism with children and babies all the time. And what else he said? It was babies, dogs.
He said women, children, and dogs.
And women are, yeah, it's like, and I already went to that one with relationships. If I go against your boundaries and your morals, and you go against my boundaries and morals, then you will lose access to her or whatever she was doing for you, and vice versa. So it was the same. So all those that I named definitely still had conditions. If a dog bites a master, he's sent away, or he's put down. If a child is unruly, you are looked at as the black sheep, and other children are favoritized over you. And if a grown adult woman, is with a man, she will be losing access or whatever he was providing for her. So each one loses. That is my answer.
And then to that last point, only men are loved under the condition that they provide something. What do you say to that?
Not true, because like I said, like that goes into the same point with the man and the woman.
I agree.
Now,
I agree
Unique.
with you, Fifth.
Yeah, Unique earlier, you did say, and I listened the whole time. I was just getting ready for work, but I listened the whole time. And you mentioned, you and Mr. Yarchat were talking about the man, the provision. You talked about his end of the deal. And you just got done saying, that your prenuptial agreement would have a stipulation in there that if y'all two created a business together, that you should get 80 and he should get 20. So I'm gonna let you speak to Chris Rock's quote, and then I'll let y'all talk it out. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie with Chris Rock. Like, I really don't like him. I don't associate with him as a good person. As we know, he is very disliked by the elites, by the actors and everything in Hollywood, as we know. And Will Smith smacking him only proved it when everybody came and ran to Will Smith instead of him. Samuel L. Jackson and the rest of them, they don't really see Chris Rock as one to be respected as the elites. Not only with his coonery, and disrespect to his own, but also with how he presents himself. That's why I seen his special, but I don't really, I really don't. I would never buy any tickets for him. He has been he's been well known to hate women. He has been well known to hate women. He's been married and divorced once. And he has, I believe he has a daughter that's she went to school abroad, or maybe she's still in school, I'm not sure. I believe he has one child. So I'm just like, with him, I can't really, he's basically not someone I would quote, is if you understand. Like he's not respected by anyone.
I understand the messenger. I'm just talking about the message. So, Unique, go ahead. You can respond to his quote.
Okay.
His quote is, "Are men, women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, but men are only loved under the condition that they provide something." Go ahead.
So as what you said, Chris Rock, I don't really care about what type of person he is. You know, especially if he makes me laugh, he makes me laugh. I'm a real simple person. Yes, I definitely do believe in what you said about the last part of the quote, that men are valued at nothing, and if a man does not provide something, he will have nothing. Like, he won't have a wife if he don't provide for her. He won't have kids if he don't provide a way for that wife to be able to stay at home with them kids. She will leave him. So a man he's lower than dirt. How women treat men. Women are respected because they have wombs and they can produce children. Children are respected because they don't understand what's going on in life, but they do need somebody to take care of them. Dogs are respected because they are pets and they can't talk. They can bark, they can communicate, but they can't communicate on, like, a human level where we can understand. And then there is men at the very bottom, because a man, how women view men, not all women, but how women view men and how women talk to men and how they treat men and everything, it really comes down to, if this woman wants a companion and she desires to be with a man, she has to compromise and she has to give a piece of her to be with him. And so a lot of women don't want to compromise. A lot of women don't want to change for that man, for the relationship to work. A lot of women don't want to build because they have to build and compromise within that system. And so, yes, the value does go down because the woman has to give so much to a man. But a man also has to give so much to a woman. But if he provides and protects, that's all he has to do. She has to take care of the kids, take care of him, and take care of everything else. So they do value men lower than dirt.
Well, so Mr. Yard Chat, you there? Mr. Yard Chat,
I'm here.
you heard what the lady said?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. I'm sitting back and I'm
You
listening.
can,
I'm listening.
you care to respond?
Listen, both have good point of view. I definitely see weak men fear. I definitely see her her point of view. You know what I mean? She had a lot to say, man, and I respect her point of view, being honest. And she's married too, so I'm sure she know the dynamics behind a lot of things. Married, how things, it's a give and take. But I don't look at it as condition. I look at it as servicing each other, take care of each other. It's not condition because you attend to each other's needs. But and I'm gonna say it again, when you go back and say condition, and we all know marriage come with condition. We know it come with morals. You don't want nobody, mess with your morals. Of course, your character. Of course, those are the things. Those are that's you. That's you. And we forget it. When you go into a marriage, you are an individual. You are a person, even together, but you're still an individual. You both have your own brain and mouth to talk different things and believe different things and say different things. But you put your differences aside and say, we're gonna grow our marriage together. And I believe when you put condition on certain things, you go in it on a negative vibes, and you're not going to put your effort 100% because you have a condition. Not say it doesn't work for people, but I mean, you're going to guard your heart. You're going to guard, your morals about your character. That's you, morality. You want to guard those things, but outside of that, what else do you have in a marriage? I
Can
mean,
I rebuttal what you said? Your chat.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when does a man desire unconditional love?
Everybody deserve it.
Okay, but
It's
I'm
not a
saying
man or
though,
woman
does
thing.
it
I believe every person deserves unconditional love.
Unconditional love?
wait,
Yes, because you know why I said that? You know
Wait a
why I
minute.
said that? You know why I said that? The reason why I said because you always it's just like and maybe this is a bad example in a way. It's like you are innocent and proven guilty. Despite of what you say, this person did it. Despite of what everything is, you're innocent until you're proven guilty in the court of the law. That's the American Constitution. You're innocent. Despite if you know the person did it, you saw him did it, they gotta go to court and do it the right way, despite of everything.
Okay, regardless of going to court, I'm saying
Yeah.
though, the same love that I have for my children, I've carried them, I birthed them, my patience is there with them. I will love them through anything. I will sit there and I definitely compromise with my kids. Like, okay, you shouldn't do this because it's not the right thing. I don't have that same patience, love, respect, or honor for a man because I didn't birth him. But that has to grow over time for me to love him. But I will never love him in a way that I love my children. So does it come down to the legacy or does it come down to jealousy? She never loved me the way she loved them.
You know what I think this come down to? You want to be honest, right? I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Trauma.
How does that equal to trauma?
Because you
if I
chose
birthed
that
my
man.
kids?
You chose that man at one point.
But never unconditionally.
Y'all chose each other, but
You
yeah.
chose him at one point.
But it will never equal to how I can
Accountability.
love a
See, you have
child
to take
versus I can love a
accountability. You
man.
cannot put everything in the next person. You have to take some accountability as well. You take two.
How does that
I
work?
am taking accountability. I am taking two. I'm
No,
saying
we
I
just
can
talking.
never.
We just talking. We was talking before. No disrespect. We was talking before me and Unique. I don't. Maybe you don't understand the whole dynamic.
Yeah, because
but
I'm like,
Unique
I'm a
what
little
speaking about.
confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
So that's why I got the annulment because I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't. The love that he's asking for that comes with like the levels that we were speaking on, the level of becoming a girlfriend, the level
Yeah.
of becoming a wife, the level of becoming a fiance, all that. I found out within myself of taking accountability and going to therapy and healing and stuff that I can never love you the way I would love a child. I can never love you in that way of loving you unconditionally, loving you through the good parts. It's only so many bad parts in me within that will happen within our relationship that I can withstand. And so I don't have the patience and the compassion to love you, keep loving you through that. I want you to be perfect, and you're not going to be perfect. And my realization of me living in Delulu land and not being realistic, I should get this annulment because I'm not going to put you in that situation of being resentment towards you and not being the wife that you actually desire.
And you did. You did responsible thing. You did what you had to do.
I mean, that's really
Yeah.
good.
That's your personal
when you
choice.
find
You made your choice. Yeah.
when you find that you are not equally yoked and you guys are not on the same path of what you guys want, it's best to bow out, right? Let that other person go so they can go find what they want and you can go find what you want. Do you know how many people would have stayed and then it would have just got bad, or it would have just been, well, it just would have been bad.
But also, if I'm not listen, if also what you got to keep in mind, and I don't mean to sound, but I keep it real. This might be a issue that you have to work on, because if it's you say you don't want the boom boom, so in the future we don't know what the future is going to bring. If you bring that same mentality, maybe it's something you got to work on. personally work on you. You understand what I'm saying?
Can I say something?
Yeah, just 1 second, Run the Chamber. Rasanto was first. Rasanto, you there?
Yeah, I'm just, waiting my turn, that's all.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Am I saying your name right?
You said it perfectly. Thank you for that, actually. Thank you for
Thank you.
asking. Bye.
Hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, okay?
It's a pleasure.
I like to let people know the rules before they start speaking, okay?
Talk to me.
Watch, there you go. Watch your language. Respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat. Respect each other, one mic at a time. If you agree, cool. If you disagree, you can, just respectfully, okay?
Easy
All right.
work.
So, thank you. Let's answer the question before you get into the conversation with everybody else, all right? Does love come with conditions?
So the only kind of unconditional love that I think does and should exist is between a parent and a child. And whenever I say between a parent and a child, I mean from the parent to the child. And here's why I don't believe romantic relationships are or should be unconditional. For example, right? If it doesn't matter if you have a child with somebody or if you have a child from outside of your relationship. If somebody hurts your children, for example, or does something to hurt your children, I feel like that is reasonably a reason to not love that person. If my husband isn't being a good husband to me and I'm not being a good wife to him and I'm not showing up as a partner, he's well within his right to not love me no more, right? I think romantic love is oftentimes conditional because there are conditions. You can't just show up, right? You have to show up and put in the work to be a good partner, right? If you didn't have to put in the work to be a good partner, if you didn't have to actively show up as a partner, it would be unconditional. But because you have to do your part as a partner, that's why I consider romantic love conditional. You have to show up, but you have to also, just like Princess Schulten said, you have to prove yourself. And weak men fear, I think I know certified. I land. Sorry about that, y'all.
No, you're good. Run the Chamber. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Thanks for joining. You've heard the rules.
Hmm.
You could answer the question, all right? Does love come with conditions? Go.
Yeah, so I actually saw your prompt and I was really excited. So I actually did a report and an essay on this in college in my sociology class. So there's a couple things. One, I think that people get misconstrued what conditions and unconditional love is. And with romantic relationships and interpersonal relationships, besides that, as a child and a mother, it is actually against human condition and impossible to have conditional love. There is always going to be, I'm saying, like, in a lot of cases, depending on the person and the relationship, the bar can be set pretty high or pretty low, right? That they can tolerate a lot, but there's always going to be a line. There's always going to be condition, right? And we can go to extremes, like unalive, your partner's child, do something that is just horrible, right? That is the thing. So like I said, I studied this and they found that the only conditional love was mother and child. And even that, I think that there is a lot of, unfortunately, mothers in cases. I did some studying with, children that were like sociopaths and their mother and stuff like that. Even those had limitations, and those within that sense seem to be rare. And then even rarer is a father and a child. It is actually about 1% to 2% that are capable of conditional love with that child. There's always going to be conditions. I'm not saying that the conditions aren't extreme, but there are conditions.
All right. My new friend, Big Purr. Big Purr, where you at?
Hello.
Hello, Big Purr. Thanks for coming back. I've been waiting for you today.
Oh,
All right.
really?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I want to hear your opinion. You already know the rules. I don't have to explain it because you're not new here. The topic
Right.
today is, does love come with conditions? Go ahead.
Well, when we say conditions, what do we mean by conditions?
I'll break it down. So I'll give you a quote that Chris Rock said, which inspired this topic. And he says in his comedy specials that women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, but a man is only loved, but a man is only loved under the condition that he provides something. That should give a little more context. Go ahead, Big Purr.
Yeah, cut you when it comes to I say yes. I'm not with it, mommy. As you can see, I have a little one in the background. I say yes. Hey, I like Jingle Bells.
But yeah, Big Purr, you could expound more. Well, I'll help you out a little more because I picked the topic, so I'm responsible for it, right? For
Right.
instance, obviously, provision and protection is a big thing, and we're not mad at what the man's role is. That's not the purpose of the topic. But we're just stating that this is it states the obvious. Um,
Right.
we know that a lot of relationships have conditions normally in the sense of, hey, it took the conditions for the relationship to even be a relationship to begin with, you know? And I'll be fair and add this. Okay, Rosanto, shout out to you. So I'll be fair and say this, right? You have seen situations where, let's say a man lost his job, right? Not all. A man lost his job, a woman leaves. A woman leaves her job, a man stays, right? In a lot of cases.
Right. Right.
You do have, I don't want to exclude infidelity. Obviously you have infidelity. There are people who have forgiven each other or not. You know, you cheat once, I'm out. You know, you cheat twice, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? You've had situations like that. You've had situations where a woman in a marriage will hold out on her man in terms of intercourse. And I mean, he may not divorce her, but he may be like, you know what? Well, if you ain't gonna give it to me, I'm gonna go outside and get it somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But you know, you've had situations on both sides, you know, where people have, you know, fallen under the conditions of, you're not doing what you used to do, so I'm going. We had somebody on here earlier, and no disrespect to her, shout out to her. She was honest, because the whole point about this is that she was honest. She said if the man can't provide, and you know he you know, and he can't hold up his end of the deal, she's out. She's out. So what do you got to say to that, Big Purr? It just gives you more context.
Yeah, I would agree because I know that my man would leave me if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And we did have an agreement that your job is this and my job is that. But if we were to fall short on our end of the thing, then there's other things to look into. Like if he loses his job, then I'm going to be the one that goes out and potentially find a job, or it really all depends for real. And I think the condition thing, like you said, is not a negative thing. It's just withholding. I mean, it's keeping your end of the bargain.
Yeah, I agree to that because everybody have different. The thing about conditions is everybody's boundaries, conditions are different. Like
Right.
there are people who will take you back because they might also be cheating. Like I'm gonna take you back cheating because I'm also cheating and I want you to take me back. The boundaries wouldn't be cheating for them because that's something that they do as well. Or the boundaries wouldn't be you losing your job. Like, okay, you lose your job, I still have my job, that's not really a big deal. But to some people, you lose your job, then that means there's no that you're not holding up your deal anymore, which means I gotta go. Like everybody's boundary is different. And in a lot of cases, this is a scientific study that when women fall sick, a lot of their husbands actually leave because they were looking for the women to have labor. So the woman's not able to cook, clean, take care of the kids, and take care of you anymore. If she falls sick, you guys are out. And that's a high amount, enough for it to be a study on it. And that's a boundary. Like hey, if you're not able to basically take care of me and take care of everything, I'm out of here. And that's okay because that's your boundary. That's not their fault for them to get sick or have cancer or anything like that, but it does happen. So if that's just your boundary, then that's it. But then you got people who would take care of their family, even if they get sick, all the way up to them passing, and that's okay. Like your boundary is your boundary. You're individual. You don't have to. Your boundary doesn't have to be somebody else's boundary.
I have something to add to that too, because when I was doing this study, and it's been like probably 6 years ago when I was in the sociology class, one thing that I found, which was extremely interesting, is in cases where we're extreme, right, and people were staying with each other. So we're talking about like that their partner did something really horrendous. There was a case where their partner was a serial, ended up being a serial and a lifer, and the woman stayed with him throughout prison and stuff like that. Just so I'm talking about in extreme cases, or even in extreme cases of infidelity, one partner is consistently doing that, is not showing love, and the other person stays with them, right? And they're not doing those things. It actually showed that it would be the opposite of what you think. So those people that were doing that actually had low self-worth and low love for themselves, but were capable of having more of a sense of unconditional love. And it had to do with their self-esteem and not loving themselves, which I found to be kind of interesting.
Okay. Okay. So, I saw something. I'm not able to leave the because if I get out of the app, it's gonna make me go on mute. So I have to use my other phone. Where it talked about conditional love and unconditional love, right? It was like this article that state what's conditional, what's unconditional. On the conditional side, it basically was saying that conditional love is really not real love, and that it has a lot of things that are just, self-fulfilling, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to, you know, caring for others. I love you because, you're doing this for me, but the moment you're not doing this for me, I don't love you anymore. Weak men fear. What's your response to something like that?
So yeah, so in those cases, like you see a lot of that as well in like narcissistic personality disorders, because I also studied that, and those people are actually generally have like very particular standards. So like they go into the relationship not even it's all about what they're going to get out of it, right, and stuff like that, and it shows that those people are actually not typically capable of love, or very, very little love, right? Some narcissists can love, but it's very shady, right? They lack empathy. And so I think in that article, maybe the definition of that is a little bit different of like what actually conditional, unconditional love is. But yeah, I would say that people that are self-fulfilling like that, going into relationships, those are literally generally sociopaths and narcissistic personality disorders.
I agree with Ron.
So, oh yeah, go ahead, Weak Men Fear. I'm sorry, because I directed it towards you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You
I was
eating? It's all good.
I was eating, which is why I was on pause for a while. But
It's all good.
basically, thank you, Ron, for taking my turn from me, because I was
Yeah,
eating.
thank you for letting me. I'm sorry.
But everything you said was basically what I was going to say. I believe that it's definitely narcissist character traits, and And Run, you can agree to this, that majority of us have at least 1 to 2 character traits of being a narcissist. Now, for you to be a full blown narcissist, you have to have all the traits. But all of us have at least 1 to 2 character traits of being a
And they
narcissist.
have to be unchanging. That was another thing that I've learned too about narcissistic personality disorder and people that have traits. A lot of people will have traits and exhibit like strong traits or more significant traits, but they're not actually a narcissist. So, like with self-healing or like bringing themselves to experiences, dealing with trauma, et cetera, those can actually change, and those behaviors can change. As with a narcissist, they're always going to be a narcissist.
Mm-hmm. Going to seek a relationship or going to seek into any type of connection to get something out of it, it's definitely someone who's selfish and only think about themselves. They don't have empathy, like Run said. And these people are closer to psychopaths. These people are, in fact, narcissists or have some type of psychopath trait. Anybody who just goes into a relationship or a friendship or any type of connection with any human being and just be like, what can I get out of it? I just want to take from them and then dish out without actually giving something in return. These people are bad. So, it's still conditions to every interaction with anything and everybody. But there are people who just get into connections with people and just want to take everything they have and leave. And these people are bad people.
Yeah, and I also want to add too, because I think people get confused with that too when they're looking at narcissistic personality disorders, because they're like, well, they did this and that and that. They're not actually giving to give. Like a lot of them, when they get into those situations, will love bomb and do a lot of things for the partner, but it's not actually. It's because they're doing it as a manipulation and to get to the full extent of everything that they can give. So even though those people are giving things in the relationship at the beginning, it's just manipulation.
Yeah, and I'll say this because narcissism is something that can be clinically diagnosed. It's in the DSM-5, if I'm not mistaken, and it fits in the same umbrella as a sociopath.
And
It has similarities.
remember,
Yeah, there is a
a lot of them.
distinction. I believe that narcissists are capable of some forms of empathy, and they are capable to some extent with love, as a sociopath is incapable of, or antisocial personality disorder is incapable of empathy and of love.
And 85% of people go undiagnosed because they don't seek a doctor and they don't seek help. Maybe a
Yeah,
narcissist and you don't even know.
Very interesting.
that's true. But I would also say that word narcissist is also a current buzzword because it gets applied to anyone. When you don't get your way with someone, oh, he's a narcissist. And it gets misused a lot. I'm sure you can agree with that, Run the Chamber. It gets misused a lot.
Yeah, and I see a lot of men that are claiming that their partners were narcissistic personality disorder because they're just claiming, when actually they show traits of borderline personality disorder, which can go strong into like looking like narcissistic personality disorder.
Yeah.
And then also like what Week was saying before, there are people that are capable of doing things depending on the situation that have strong narcissistic traits, but they're not necessarily narcissist, right? So you'll see a lot of that in trauma survivors, especially those with complex PTSD. Until they're able to get help and that sort of thing, they will actually display quite narcissistic behavior. It's almost like a survival mode that they're in, right? But they're not actually narcissists, and they are capable of change if they're able to do the work. And so I think that that's kind of the issue too, is you got all these people like self-diagnosing and that sort of thing, and then all of a sudden everybody's a
Not knowing everything.
narcissist.
Someone said in the chat, the people said bad morals.
Yeah, people can have bad morals and not be a narcissist.
Exactly.
I'm just repeating what someone said in the chat. The people said bad morals. So let me ask you guys a question. We had a famous person from the Bronx, and married how many times, going back to the same parents how many times, and the last time that person made a statement, it just threw everyone under the bus and left her like she's innocent, like she's innocent. Wow. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Jennifer Lopez?
Who,
Did you
what?
guys heard her statement? What she said?
What'd she say?
Um,
I don't know anything about it. Run, do you?
Jennifer Lopez.
yeah, I know that there was a couple things that she has said, and then a couple other things as
With
well.
Ben
But
Affleck?
yeah,
Is this
Well,
the
let me
relationship between Ben Affleck and her?
No, it's just
let
because. Go ahead, Mr. Fifth. Go ahead.
yeah, let me get to it. She was on Howard Stern, and she said that all her marriages, because she's had like 5 of them, right? She had the one guy, then she had the dancer, then she had Mark Anthony, then she had Ben Affleck, right? I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I think I mentioned them all, right? And what was asked was about the love part. She said that all of those men, she said she felt like they were incapable of love. All of those guys. One of the husbands, the first husband, and TMZ has the article. He responded and he talked about his side of the story. And he was like, I did love you. You were loved. You cheated on me. I mean, that's what he's saying, because I think you have the right to face your accuser. She said what she said. He responded. The only people who know what happened is them two, right? So I get where you're going, Mr. Yard. So, but Mr. Yard, did you have an actual question tying
No,
to
her
J-Lo's
behavior,
situation? Okay.
the behavior, because it sounds like exactly what the woman described. Her behavior.
yeah. So I definitely like would there would have to be more context, and we're getting stuff from like social media, but I mean that can be kind of a reflection of a narcissistic personality disorder. They will never admit fault themselves. It's always going to be the other person's fault, right? And then there's a couple things I can address. Two is if in fact all of those people were actually not incapable or not capable of love, it is possible for someone who grows up in a narcissist home to and has trauma from that they will actually seek out even subconsciously without realizing narcissistic personality disorders. And then also, that could also be a reflection. Like I said, I don't know everything about Jennifer Lopez. Those can also be attributes of someone that has dealt with a lot of trauma and is unhealed, right? And then they start displaying things that could even be like a borderline personality sort of thing. So I don't really know all the context, but I mean, it's definitely a red flag for narcissistic.
Well, I'll give more details. She also said in that same Howard Stern interview that the men gave her everything that she wanted. So they gave her everything that she wanted, but she's implying everything that I wanted except for the love part. And
Now,
she mentioned all the things that they gave her, the material things. This is her interview with Howard Stern. This can be looked up.
I mean,
Go ahead.
like Run said, you have people who love bomb in the beginning. So they give you gifts, they take you on restaurants, they do everything, but the intimacy part, the hugging, the kissing, actually like feeling love, she probably was missing that, probably because they're famous. Like I guess I want to bring up the football player and his wife. What's his name? Manning? Was it Manning?
Are you talking about is
The
she
guy.
talking about the
Brady,
quarterback?
Brady.
Brady, yeah.
Brady. Okay, it's not Brady. I mean, it's not
Brady and
Manning. It's Brady.
Giselle.
Yeah. What? So yeah, like I guess because I don't know much about Jennifer Lopez situation, which is why me and Run are just like what, but I guess like the Brady situation with him and his wife. We already know that Brady was, a very famous football player, and his wife is a very famous model and slash actor. Now, what happened with Brady and his wife was they said that Brady was supposed to retire because football, it kind of takes you out away from the home. He would come home, get her pregnant. She would, have children. I don't know how many kids they have. I think 3. I think they have 3 kids. Yeah, I think her and Brady has 3 kids. And he would get her pregnant, then leave for like months and months on end for football season or whatever. They had an agreement. It came out that she said that both of them talked about it. He said he was going to do his last football season, and he was going to be finished. He was going to retire, everything like that, come home and help her with the kids, all that other stuff. Now, what happened between them two was that he broke the agreement, which was him basically signing another contract going on for another season. She was very upset about this and filed for divorce. And when they asked her why, basically he would come home, have sex with her, everything like that, spend a little bit of time, and then he's gone for like the rest of the year. Like she doesn't see him anymore from there. And he said the reason for this is because of the football season and everything like that. But he also told her that it was going to be his last football season and then sign another contract for another season. So he broke the agreement between them. He broke the conditions between them. And that made her sign and file for divorce. So what do you guys say about like that with Brady and his wife? Like, do you think it was right for him to say, hey, I'm going to do this last season and then I'm going to come home and help you with the kids and, whatever, and retire? And then he just said, nah, I'm just going to sign another season. I don't want to stay home with my kids and my wife. Why would I do that? I want another season and have some fun. Do you think it was right for him or whatever, or he is the cause for his divorce?
I mean, if that was the agreement and he broke that agreement, and then I can empathize with both sides and we can kind of like pick it apart. But I would say, like if all she's getting is him coming home and it smacks, right, and he's off, right, and that she was able to hold on for a while and she's raising the children, but then signs another contract and he's not only not present as a husband, but he's not present as a father either, right? And he's only providing the material thing, but the children and people and wives need more than like material possessions, right? And I think that it's difficult for someone in that position, right? Because media and us are going to judge it and be like, oh, she's getting what she wants out of material, she should just put up with it, that sort of thing. But we don't know all the context. She should have been holding her children together and being the emotional thing for an absent father. Basically, she was a single mom thinking that there is going to be an end to this, right? And then comes to find out that it's just going to continue. Like at some point, it almost seems pointless, right? Because she's the only one in that situation.
Yes, I agree, which gives the context of, a lot of people saying the married single mom. You're stuck at home doing everything while he's out, having a good time, doing everything. He doesn't come home and he leaves you with doing all the work. And it's like, what do you get? You don't get the love, you don't get the husband, you don't get the present day.
Yeah, and then you're seeing
he
the
gives you
children
everything.
suffer as a result too. That could be very bearing on someone, right? Because those children are suffering from not having a father around.
Yep. I wanted to hear from Yard and Philip. What do you guys think?
Man, that particular story, there's a lot of things around that, and I'm not even going to touch it. There's a lot of allegations.
Go ahead. Like I know that because they asked her why. Now I don't know about the allegations and rumors and stuff like that.
The allegation, this came way before the divorce, that she was cheating way before the divorce.
Oh, that was rumors. But yeah, because she married the guy.
I know, Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's all rumors and things like that. But my point is this, right? Um, when you look at the marriage, right? They both aware what they get into. He's a sport figure. He's gonna travel. Let me tell you something. Married to an entertainer or a sport figure, if you don't understand what you get into, you need to do research before you're married. The man not going to be there a lot because greatness don't come sitting home.
Yeah, but what
Great,
if you do understand the agreement, like in her case,
but what I'm
and then they
saying
make
is this:
conditions in it?
he's out working. It's benefiting her, the kids, the family. If he don't do these things and go out, because like I said, Michael Jordan didn't become Michael Jordan. There was a lot of time alone in the gym away from family to be
No, but
very there.
Yard, they said Manning like did everything he was supposed to do. They said he's even in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you
They
know
said
what he wanted
they
to,
said that even coaches told him to like put it up, but they said
what
he
he wanted to
wouldn't do
do,
it.
he wanted to make it to like 50, something like that. He wanted to make a personal goal that he wanted to accomplish. Say that it was a personal goal. But what I'm saying is this: according to how it ends, it said that personal reason, express frustration with being labeled unfaithful for leaving an unhealthy relationship. That's their own words. This all public records, by the way. So it's ironic that people would choose their feelings to feel good and suffer long term.
Well, here's the thing, right?
And
Is I think
Can
that.
I land?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm
My
sorry.
bad,
And
Yard, because I was about to say something too. You paused for a while.
what you said, Run, who's suffering now? Who's suffering? The kids. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're co-parents. It's not the normal parenting as both under the same roof. The kids will feel something. They not you might do your best, everything look good. They have the money, they're going back and forth traveling, good. It's the kids. And it's not going to take a toll on the kids reach a certain age, and when they start telling these things, this is the reason why you have kids make decisions going into marriage for what they see, what their parents is doing. So how the next generation going to get good husband and good wives? They're going to have a hard time because everyone is conditioned to look for a certain thing. And if a condition doesn't work out, I'm out. None of these relations that I'm hearing, nobody's talking about what about unconditional love?
But
What about the
Yard,
love? Everybody want a condition, but don't want a condition to come with an unconditional love.
there's no such thing. Is what
There is
what we've been trying to
there is
say.
an unconditional
There's
love.
no such thing as unconditional love with
Let me tell you
two
something.
individual adults.
Let me tell you something. There was a individual that came up here, CV, Mr. Fick. Was it CV? The gentleman
DC.
yes. And what he said, and I hope you guys could. I hope Mr. Fick get that clip and play. He said he tried everything under the sun. It doesn't work.
For the wrong person.
And he was consistent with that point where me and Mr. Fifth have to sit back and let this man have the floor for him to explain the reason why he's like that, reason why he came to this conclusion. And reason why he came to that conclusion, I know, and it's true, and it cannot be, it's a fact what he's saying.
That's not the only unconditional love that actually exists is between a mother and child.
Correct.
Wait, hold on.
I could
Hold
tell
on,
you
hold
deeper
on.
love than that.
Yeah,
Mr.
I've heard
Fifth, you
that.
have the floor. I'm sure you, Mr. Fifth, are you going where I'm going?
Yeah, but I just wanted to
Yeah,
have
go ahead. Do
Kassar.
your thing.
Just wait a second. Okay, all right. Hey, how do I say your name? Is it Kissa or Kassar? I
Just
don't know
cause,
how to. Kissa?
yeah.
Okay. All right. Before you join the conversation, Elevate, hold tight. Okay. Welcome back, Elevate, hold tight. All right, Kissa. The question: does love come with conditions? Go.
Yes.
Expound.
Me to elaborate? Oh, okay. Um, I feel like if you are not looking for love and you're just looking for yourself, like if you're looking for the love that you can give to yourself, that's unconditional. When you grow a person in your body, you love them before you know them. I had to get to know you to like you. I had to get to know you to want you in my space. And then once you're in my space, it's like there's a pull, there's a give and take. There's a I give you something and you give me something. I give you smiles, you give me attention. You give me attention, I give you patience and understanding and loyalty. You know what I mean? Like it's always a give and take. There's never just, I mean, if there is ever a time where this one person is just giving, and the other one is just taking, those are, the same kind of things. But I think that the only unconditional love is the love that you can have for them, even if there was nothing. And I think that for boys, men, well, no, for boys, because not really men, for boys who are looking for that kind of love, they just didn't get it from their mamas. I think that when you are taking up a woman's time, like a grown woman's time, there isn't unconditionality. Like there's always something that is being exchanged. And the only time it doesn't get exchanged is when it's with yourself and or with your child.
That was really well put.
Um.
Wow, I like that point.
Yeah. Let me get the. I can respect that. Let me get the Elevate. Elevate. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hey, the question. There you go. hmm
Okay. Does love come with conditions? I think for a majority of the population, yes. And this is just because a lot of people mistake infatuation for love. Infatuation is not love. It's that little high that you get from that feeling of the rush of, dopamine and your hormones and your pheromones, pretty much everything going crazy. But you don't know that individual. You don't know their good side, their strengths. You don't know their bad side, their weaknesses. You are not in tune enough to say that you love that person or that you're in love with that person. The thing is that love is not only a feeling, but it is an action as well. And let's just say hypothetically you love this individual, flaws and all, and they didn't actually love you, they just like the feeling or the convenience of you. If you truly love that person, no matter how many other people come into your life, you will always love that person, regardless of anything. That person could have hurt you to the point where your soul was breaking. You will still have love for that person because of the fact that you actually accepted them, flaws and all. Love is also acceptance. Now that doesn't mean you necessarily end up staying with the individual, although that's the desirable result. But if we're just talking about love in general and it not being successful or unsuccessful, if we're not talking about that, love is absolutely unconditional if they truly love them.
Wow. Well said. I could actually see your point of view on that one. I could actually see it. I could actually see everyone's point of view because I'm the type of person, I look at everything, man. I don't miss nothing past me. I look at everything. You know why? Because if you overlook something, you might miss something that you could learn from. Everyone is right. It comes down to one personal choice. No one can tell you, in marriage, out of marriage, single, divorce, marriage. You have to make your own personal choice. That's it. A personal choice. It might be good ones and it might be bad ones. But I tell people, make sure you look at the whole situation first. Don't ever make choices on emotional or with your feelings on your sleeve in the spur of the moment. No, it's not life is critical, but you have to also be very careful of your choices and decision. There's such thing as karma. The vibes you put out, it will come back. But are we ready to suffer the consequences? That's it. We all want to put everything out there, but are we willing to receive it back when it's coming back? Then we say, oh, no, it was too much. No, you made the choice. So a lot of people make choices, and when the decision and consequence coming back, they make the excuses now. But me, I say, deal with it. But nobody going to deal with your choices you make. You're going to have to deal with it. And it's sad, sometimes our choices affect others. Oh, we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. So there have to be some type of unconditional love to survive in this world. Ain't no temporary fix. It's who have that endurance. You see all the horses start out quick and fast, and the one that started slow say, I'm going to pace myself because I know there are going to be some rocky points, man. There are going to be some unsteady ground. My leg might get broken. I might fracture a hip along the way, but guess what? I'm going to get back up. I'm going to keep striving. But no one want to go through the challenges in marriages. And kids do learn from what they see.
That's
Women,
100%.
yeah, go ahead. I'm Lan.
Yeah, I think, and I said this in another panel, and I got heat for it, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of not only women, but men too, that they aren't disciplined. They don't know emotional regulation. They don't know how to let things go. They prioritize being right over actually, being like, okay, like, is it really that deep, or is this something, that I can let go? Obviously this other individual is really passionate about this topic matter, whatever the case may be, and it's not going to make or break our household whether she's right or I'm right. So like, let me just drop this. Like, let me just not put this amount of emphasis on this, because we can have our different points of views and still, be a union, be in a successful relationship, marriage, whatever the case may be. And I think people lose sight of that because of the way things are, especially right now, where, there's a lot of mentality of grass is greener on the other side. There's always going to be someone better. And even like when people date now, they don't vet, they don't date with intention a lot of the time. A lot of individuals they will date multiple individuals, and they'll pretty much have although it's not intentional, the thought process is, how do they rate? So you're always going to be going through the shuffle, and you're always going to find a problem with someone, and you're going to be miserable. And
I'll say this, and I'll say this, and I'll hand the mic back to you, Elevate. I feel like, I think anything that's transactional is conditional. What do you say?
I mean, if it's transactional and that's the perception of it, it's obviously going to be conditional, because once there isn't if there's a transaction that's not able to be made. So for example, if my man expects me, let me do it the opposite way. It's easier to do it the opposite way. So let's say that I expect to be communicated in a certain way, and we have this agreement. And let's just say my man had a really rough day and didn't speak in the tonality that I like, right? If I was in a transactional relationship and I'm typically the one that, right when he comes home from work, I start, working on dinner and getting dinner ready for him, I'll be like, nah, I'm not cooking for him tonight. Screw that. He talked to me that type of way. But if it wasn't a transactional relationship, I would still make him food regardless. I might be pissed off the whole time, steaming, stewing, like, this motherfucker, But, like, at the same time, I'm still gonna care for him because I care for him. I'm just pissed off in the moment. I'm not gonna take that out on him.
True. You know what? One thing too. I always look. This is just me. I always listen to all the people that come in the chat, their point of view, and the way I look at it, the topic is there, and I look at the people response. I came on a panel, and that's how you know what the real fact is, because everyone says condition, right? And you say it's condition. A couple people say it's unconditioned, and some people say it's conditioned, but majority said it was conditioned, right? So, and I said it. I said, if you go in a state of a company and these are the conditions and no conditions made, you're out. So if you have the same condition going to marriage, and if these don't met, you have the mentality, you're out. So you causing destruction to your own marriage already, and you don't even know it. Because you're not thinking about trust. Marriage come with trust too. You're trusting the person to do the right thing. You're trusting the person to make the right choice. You're trusting the person to invest the money right. You trust them to do everything right. You trust. So if you go into marriage and say, well, I don't trust him because everything's conditional. I got to watch. If he violate one of the things, I'm not hearing it. It's done. I'm done. Am I wrong for thinking that point? Am I logical to think like that? Or I'm just talking just to be talking? That's how I look at it. Just being honest and fair.
No, I think that's the way a lot of relationships work and a lot of marriages work. I'm super grateful that the divorce rate has gone down since the first time I saw it. It used to be 70, and I think it's like between like 40 and 50% now. So it went down a whole 20% because people are having more of these conversations and creating a priority for healthy communication. But yeah, a lot of relationships, if you don't act right, if you don't do what they say, whatever the case may be, if something's undesirable, then they just give up on it, to be honest with you. And I think that this kind of goes into the fact of what I said earlier, my first statement. I think a lot of people that are in these marriages and in relationships during this infatuation phase, and they don't really get out of it because they don't really like when the things get hard. They, will demonize all the negative traits and stuff when you knew who they were from the gate.
Yeah.
So you should have known from the get-go that this individual is like this. And if you didn't like that behavior in an infatuation stage, you shouldn't be staying with them.
You see,
I will also say elevate. Now, I'm going to let you talk, y'all, and I just got to get this other fact in. Elevate, marriage rates went down too. So if the divorce rate went down and the marriage rate went down, don't you think they connect?
They can, but the last time I looked it up, it was talking about healthier communication and not rushing into marriage and more intentional dating versus what modern dating has been. So I think it could be both.
I understand. That's the context to the marriage rate. There's context to why the marriage rate is down. And yeah, the numbers will speak for themselves because if one goes down, the other one goes down. I understand that. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Yard. I'm sorry.
Well, I answer to that. I know during the pandemic, I know for a fact during the pandemic, a lot of people went crazy. A lot of relationship was broke because you have those conditioned love. It was good because they really wasn't seeing each other. You know what I mean? Different scheduling, who's picking up the kids, who's taking the kids there. It was like, co-parenting. Yeah. So now the pandemic crippled the whole everyone is home attitude. I don't like. And do you know how many divorces went through that pandemic? When people start seeing people for who they really are, just on the condition of because they get in the bag in the marriage.
Oh yeah, especially when they start going stir crazy because they can't go anywhere.
Okay, so when you have people who live in a house that never used to live in a house because they're always, back and forth, breakfast, going out, but nothing like togetherness now. People didn't know how to act because it was conditioned love, what they could get out of the marriage. Now, when everybody come together, have to see, oh man, I got to wake up every day, I got to see this person. A lot of marriage got exposed. But I'm you know what scared me, man? Today, modern women, they scare me, man. Because the concept, it's scary. With some of these people getting a concept, I just don't know sometimes. I'm like, wow, man. Condition.
It's really upsetting, to be honest with you. And I don't know if it's because I'm technically third generation, and I don't know. When I was growing up, most people were like either, sixth, eighth generation, or they don't even know like when their lineage came to the United States. But my grandparents and my parents both, like, the way they would communicate is, I noticed, compared to other households, was significantly different. Like, you have the bickering and the yelling and just a lot of toxicity in other households. And like in mine, it was just kind of like they discussed a thing, and if they didn't agree on a thing, they're like, all right, well, agree to disagree. I'm gonna go clean the dishes now. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. And it wasn't a thing. So I'm just wondering if that's just my anecdotal experience, where I've noticed that's mostly, toxic households that are, raising these children, or if it's, the general population that typically is being raised in a toxic household where they aren't being taught healthy communication and learning to drop the ego and let certain things go if it really isn't that deep.
I think it's society in general, man, got very comfortable with certain values and certain tradition and habits, and it stick. That's all it is. I believe it is. People want everything microwave. That people don't want to wait for nothing, no patience and nothing.
Sure, I didn't even think about that, but you're right about
People
that.
don't want to work on nothing no more. Everyone wants, and you know what it is? We think we're getting smarter, but society getting dumber and dumber. Why? Because we're not using our common sense. We're not using critical thinking. We're not using none of our common sense. Critical thinking is just using your common sense and reason within yourself and make a good decision.
Right.
Not going all the way to the left, not going all the way to the right. A balance. How you going to go in a relationship on condition? Well, I tell him if he's in an accident, yeah, I'm looking for a way out. I'm done. He lost his job. I'm looking for the next person who could give me a better condition, a better life. That's how I look at it, man.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. So, Mr. Fifth, how you doing, Mr. Fifth? You good? I know Mr. Fifth. He's probably on his way to work.
Gotcha.
How you doing? How's your day? How's everything going? Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No,
I'm here, brother. I'm here, brother.
What state are you from?
I'm from the East Coast originally, but I'm in Texas now.
Oh, you in Texas? Houston, Texas, or Dallas? Texas, they're big, man. It's
like not in Houston. Like I'm pretty far from Houston, but it's considered Houston.
oh my God. Where you live on the outskirt?
It's like a more rural community. Yeah, it's more a rural community. Like I gotta be
Ele-
at least an hour away.
elevate. I live in Houston.
That's crazy work. That's
That's
awesome.
what I was saying. Wow,
Yeah.
man.
What I was gonna say too is that like, and this is just an example about how a lot of people don't prioritize connectivity in the household. Like when you're during upbringing, like when it was time for dinner, everyone would sit down at the table. There might be the TV in the background, but that was like there's no phones, no nothing. It was our time to like talk as a family and enjoy food as a family, right? I go over a friend's house, right? And the mom cooks dinner and like made some for me, whatever, right? And you know, we go get our plates or whatever, and I'm like, "Where's your mom?" It's like, "Oh, she's just eating in her room. Come on, let's grab a plate and come up to my room." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, so you guys just like eat dinner in separate rooms? You guys don't even talk? You don't do anything? You just kind of like separate? She does what she does in the kitchen, and then it's just grab a plate and go? And I realize that's the way a lot of households were too, like back in the early 2000s. I'm like, this is crazy. And I'm sure it's worse now.
You know, someone said in the chat earlier, bad morals, and it is, but listen, I know, you know, people have experience, you know, in things, but sometimes, man, and I heard, you know, Nick Reiner and his father, you know, and Nick Reiner said, not the father, what's father? Was Bob Reiner? I'm not sure. But he said, man, he listened to everyone, all the professionals, but never listened to his father instincts. You see, a lot of people say, "Oh, I know how to do this." No, it comes to you natural. He said he believed every professional, everybody have their 2 cents, but never believed as a father, never believed in his fatherly instinct. And he said most likely if he would have did more, maybe the situation with his son never would have got to this point. That's a good point to look at. And the reason why I'm saying that, because a lot of people now, you know, we know the situation when you go into a marriage. There's red flags there, but people don't want to see the red flag. They think the condition that they set, everything will be better. But common sense is there, and they fail not to use common sense. That's all it is, common sense. Marriage is common sense, people. It's common sense. And if you don't respect yourself and love yourself, you're not going to give it to your partner.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it all starts with, you have to look in the mirror. Because all of these females and men, they go into the relationship, they're making choices. Then they want to find 2 years later, 3 years later, this and that. No, the red flag was there.
Yeah, I was there the whole time. People just don't want to like look at it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Elevate, I want to pose a question to you. So I've been quoting this whole stream.
Yeah.
Not sure how long you've been listening, but I let everyone get their opinion on this. Chris Rock is quoted for saying, you know, that only men, he said, women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally, but a man is only loved under the condition that he provides something. What do you say to that?
I mean, I think for the majority of the population, that's true. But obviously there's anomalies to everything. But I think for majority it's unfortunately true. Because as I said earlier, I really don't think a lot of people actually factor in, like, when you say you love someone, what that's actually, like, in my personal worldview, supposed to mean. So, I mean, if you think that when things get rough, you call it quits and you're not doing what's good for the betterment of the whole unit, and that does include yourself, then you're going in with the wrong mentality. You're going in to self-serve. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
A lot of
And
women
I mean,
do.
and also with choices, people make choices. And
Yep.
accountability. So, a lot of people make, like I said, every one point is good, but it doesn't make it right. We have all our opinions, but doesn't make it, is it factual? No. But what I could see today in society, it's not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look. And we could all agree on that. It's not a good look.
No. I mean, I've heard women on panels that were like, I'm only gonna, be with a man that makes over this amount of money, because that way, when he does cheat on me, because it's inevitable that he's going to cheat on me, that I can still enjoy the lifestyle. Let him cheat in peace. And I'm like, that's crazy work. That's nuts. That your idea of love is so unalived to the point where you're living in that mentality where you're just okay with that.
The conditions.
Yep.
And realistically, right, the condition what some of these females are putting up there, it is so unreal, so far-fetched. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I see these people on these shows, this is my expectation. I'm like, wow. I'm like, man, tell me when you meet that perfect person. Tell me when you meet that perfect person that is excellent in everything. Not in this world.
No, and I think it's on both sides too. I think it's
true,
more. I think it's more of an issue on the woman's side. That's like the more popular conversation. But there's a lot of, with the whole, what do you call it? I guess they call it like more of like a purity culture, where like there's men who's like, well, she's gotta have her V card. She has to, have this type of appeal. She needs to be able to do this in the bedroom, yada yada yada. Like there are men out there too that create really unrealistic expectations, especially in the climate, especially when, you're getting up there in age. I'm sorry, you're more than likely not going to find a 30 or 28-year-old virgin. Like the odds aren't in your favor. So you're going to prioritize that, which I understand, like not wanting to be with a woman that, slept with a gajillion men and just gives it out for free, but I mean, literally having zero and potentially passing up on a woman that is intentional and, spiritually inclined, and, all the other things are check marks on your list, but that's just not check marked off the list, and you're going to not deny her and deny the opportunity. Those are the people that set up the unrealistic expectations and end up being miserable because they hate society, because they can't get what they want.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, I'll say this, because if what's being promoted mostly is transactional arrangements, then the incentive for men on the outside watching this say, well, what's the point of getting married? Because this doesn't sound like a good deal to me. I mean, does anybody have an opinion on that?
I agree. I agree. If it's gonna be a transactional thing, like, I don't want it. I flat out don't want it. Which fortunately I'm not with an individual that, is that way. But he's definitely an anomaly. He's not the average guy to me. Because I used to be a nomad. I've lived in like probably 11 to 13 states. I kind of like, I was adventurous and was like exploring different states and seeing what the gist was like, and I had the means to do so. And I mean, the thing is that there's a lot of men out there that aren't honorable men. There's a lot of men out there that lack serious discipline. And there's a lot of men out there that they've lost their empathy. They've lost all the things. So you end up coming across a lot of men that haven't, figured out all these things, where they are very reactive. If something doesn't serve them anymore, they just bounce. They're not the type of person that will work through a thing because they see it as transactional, just like a lot of the women do. So I mean, I know with the man I'm with, like, when we reach an area that we don't agree on, like, it might be a moment where we're like kind of heated and like, she's kind of like aggravating me right now and getting me a little frustrated. But like, at the end of the day, like, we actually care for each other. So like, even if we're pissed off, just be like, hey, is there anything you need? Or, hey, I made some food for you, or whatever the case may be. And then we apologize later for if we're being, a little out of line. Like, apologize for being out of line and, hurting the other person's feelings. And then, like, it's over, And a lot of people don't do things like that.
That's true. You're right. You're right on that. You know what I mean? It's the world we're living in too, It's the world we're living in, man. The world we're living in is not the world how it used to be even 5 or 10 years ago. Everything is on speed dial. Speed dial. Everything is 1, 2, 3. Quick. Nobody listen. But you know what it is too? I look at it, when I look at today's society too, man. When I look at it, it's like something is off too. Something is really off, man. Because I don't understand how certain people act a certain way. I just don't get it. And people think that the vibes they put out, that nothing gonna happen. And now look at the condition of marriage, relationship, man and woman. It's I don't know, man. It's hard now. I know it's not. I'm glad I'm married, but for me now to go out there and say I'm gonna turn a wife, oh my God, I wouldn't know where to look. I wouldn't even know what to do, to be honest. because you got to worry about how to approach women these days as well. It's not how it used to be no more. You want to ask someone out on a date, it's like condition 2 going on a date. It's like you don't know if you're going to come because you're not going to please everyone. Everyone's expectation is just out the roof, and these expectations that they set, and some of it it's not real. You ever go on some of these shows and listen to some of these people, what they like go on a date, or they want to go to this, but it's a date to know you. Why should I spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to impress you? And realistically, and we always want to make the first impression on a date, like our clothes, the cologne, the perfume, things like that. The hair, you want to look good. But we know you put your best foot forward. Is it possible that it's not going to be like that all the time? Yes. But don't put this image up like you like that all the time. And it's not. Those are conditions, I believe. Those are conditions when you put up a front, you put up different type of, like screens or this, that. No, that's just me, man. Hey, Princess, how you doing?
Hey everyone, I'm multitasking.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much. I mean, it was a great conversation, and I saw everybody's point of view. Everybody had a valid point.
Yeah,
It really, at the end of the day, it's based on one's perspective and what they want for their life. You know, that's
yeah,
why I never say no one's wrong. Okay, some things are just blatantly wrong, but for the most part, no one's right or wrong because it's based off of your reality and how you want to live your life.
true. Yeah, yeah, I know she.
Um,
Yeah,
what-
But Princess, I want to say this though.
yeah.
I understand the quote of your perception is your reality, right? But there's also the reality of what's going on in the majority and the minority case. And so this topic comes up because quite often many people feel that love does come with conditions. And the rebuttal to that in research, people will say, well, if the love came with conditions, then that's not real love. What do you say to that, Princess?
Um. Well, let me answer it first. I say yes, and like many others said, it's really based on your boundaries. You know what I mean? Your conditions come with your boundaries. My bad.
I know.
Your boundaries and your terms. You know what I mean? What is it that you're willing to compromise and tolerate? You know what I'm saying? You can love someone and not like them. You know what I'm saying? Um, we talk of unconditional love, as many people said, mom to child, father to child. Yes, that's a love that is just unexplainable. But when it comes to other people that you're getting to know and trying to build a life around, it's different because everyone don't have the same views. You know what I mean? So you're trying to build something that is solid based off of your conditions, your boundaries, your morals, your values that you have for yourselves and for one another. So yeah, I don't know if I answered it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who's in the chat
Now,
here?
Princess, you said
Yes.
something real spicy you said something real spicy in the comments.
What I said. I
You
said a couple
said,
of things.
yeah, and I'm gonna go to the last thing you said. You said, because you was responding to what Elevate said about what men are requiring. She talked about what women are requiring and what men are requiring as a rebuttal. And you said men asking for V cards are asking for what?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need you to substantiate your claim.
Because she said something to the basis of like you asking her for that, and depending on your age, that's basically unrealistic. So for me, anytime somebody they say they looking for that and they a certain age, and you know damn well people got kids. My bad. You know kids. You know people got children out here, and you looking for that. It make me feel like you're a weirdo. Cause are you seeing women out here that's 40 years old that still got their V card? Where you seeing that at? You know what I'm saying? So when they say that, it's like, nah, you looking for a child. That's how I feel.
Wow. I see your point of view. I see your point of view.
Princess,
Yeah.
we're just having a conversation. I'm not for or against, right?
Yeah.
Why is V card only associated with underage?
Because the times we live in, it's evident that a lot of people have children, stepchildren. You know, I'm not saying everybody, but the majority of people have children. And when it comes to a certain age bracket, it's like you may not have no children, but you damn sure don't got your V card. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
So It's just like being realistic. When someone says that, it make me look the other way. Like, nah, red flag, red flag. And I'm not saying that there is no woman that don't have children and they are a certain age and they still got their V card. But it is a very rare chance you're gonna find that. Like very rare. Sorry, I
That's
was reading the
true.
comments.
That's
Now,
true. That's true.
I understand the realistic thinking to that. I do. How do I say this? You know, virginity is not coined or owned by a specific age group, right? I know this is not the
Yeah.
topic, but you know, in America, I get it. You got 304 culture being promoted, pushed, and even if it's not that, you know, just because somebody has intercourse one time doesn't make them a 304. I get it, right? But I think that's just an extreme talking point as a rebuttal to the whole he need this amount of money because let me tell you a talking point that gets brought up, right? And they'll say, you know, for the ones who, you know, the quote unquote ran through, right? They'll be like, yo, you want me to wife you, but you've been ran through and da 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 da. So I'm gonna ask you this question, Princess, and I'm gonna get back to Elevate. Would you pay a brand new car price for a used car?
Would I pay it? If it's the car that I actually really want, like my dream car, you know what I mean? Yeah. But if it wasn't, no. But at the same time, we can't look at humans as I don't even know the word I want to use, but just a materialist or object. You know what I mean? Because if that was the case, then nobody buying nothing. Like nobody will be buying anything. You know,
No, they'll
but
buy it. They'll buy it. They just won't buy it for a new price. And that's the point I'm making. A lot of people are buying what people are selling, but depend on the seller depends on what the buyer is willing to offer. Don't you agree?
I agree, but I don't agree. Like it really just depends. Like it really just depends. But then here what I always say to that question. If men are gonna look at it like that, like the whole V card thing, the whole so called body count thing, then it's almost like, well damn, who's sleeping with who out here then? You worrying about what she got going on. What are you doing? Like are you on the men's side or are you sleeping with the women too? So you can't even, in order for it to even be that, it has to be the other side participating. You know what I mean?
So I'll get more in detail, right? Hey, Elevate, you there?
I'm here.
I'm gonna ask you the same question, and you seem like someone who's very in tune with open dialogue and podcasting, right? I'm sure you've heard on the man side as a rebuttal because the women, well, he need to have six figures, six pack, and be 6 feet, right? So I'm sure you heard men say, okay, so if you want that, what am I getting in return? Am I getting something that's ran through, or am I getting something that had some level of intercourse responsibility, so that I'm not getting with a woman who's been with so many guys that now that by the time she gets with me, she's unable to pair bond. And so the men will say stuff like, "I'm not gonna buy a used car for a new car price." What's your response to that, Elevate?
I mean, I understand. I believe that people should be equally yoked. So like obviously someone that's barely had and this is kind of the fallacy that I see with that. I understand men not wanting a quote unquote car that has a ton of miles on it, because in the car world, if you're getting a car and you're comparing a car that has 250,000 miles on it versus the one that even has 60,000 miles on it, right? You're going to take the one with 60,000 miles on it, because there's going to be longevity there. But what I will say is that the fallacy is that there is rhetoric out there that that a man can have a bunch of miles on his own car, right? And by his own car, I mean him as a man. So he can have a higher body count, and that's okay because he's quote unquote supposed to do that, and he quote unquote is going to gain more traction because he has more experience. But the women that are actually these virtuous women that barely have any bodies, they don't want that. They don't in actuality want that. If someone is that spiritually in tune, I mean, she's going to want someone who's that spiritually in tune. So she's going to want someone that's equally yoked. She's going to want someone that is disciplined enough to not have that many bodies as well. So, I mean, that's just kind of what I see.
Mr. Yardchat, anything to say to what the ladies is? Oh, wait. Actually, Elevate, stay right there. Let me not forget what Princess said. I asked Princess the same question. She said for the car that she wants, she would pay that price. So that kind of speaks to your point, Elevate, is that women do not want a male virgin. Not all. I don't believe in absolutes. I see you, my oracle, in the chat. You're steaming. Not all. But what I'm saying is, most often you will hear a woman, in her honest of honesty, she will tell you, "I'm not gonna marry a man who's never had intercourse before." But many men will tell you, "Oh yeah, I'll marry a woman who's why not? Because then I could teach her how to, please me in the bedroom." I noticed the conversation's kind of changing, but I'm staying right here just to kind of stick to the points here. So most women will tell you that, and shout outs to you, Elevate, because you have heard that yourself. I'm not saying you personally believe that, but I've heard a lot of women say, some of my women friends themselves said that they couldn't marry a man who doesn't know what he's doing. And then the one thing I said to them was, well, okay. I said, so what kind of man do you want? Because a man of experience is going to have, in order for him to get that, he's had to put in practice, right? And we know where that practice comes from. And then, and then the question is, because I said to and this happens to men and women, when you've had so many partners, it weakens your ability to pair bond with someone. You know why? Because you're going to keep comparing. And what's going to happen is the woman's going to come to this man, oh, well, he didn't do that thing that John did that I like, or he didn't do that thing that Marcus did that I like. Oh, well, I like the way Terrence did that one thing. Or I like the way Joseph his anatomy was this size, or the motion that Tom gave me, and the pace that Daniel had, and Mr. Frank lasted longer than such and such. See, when a woman has had that much, I mean, don't you agree that could kind of, to the next man who actually wants to marry her, because we're talking about marriage here, don't you think that would make that a little difficult? I mean, I'm just asking. Oh, Elevate dropped out.
Would even be thinking about the next man?
No, I didn't say he's thinking about the next. I'm talking about the woman thinking about the next man, because she done had so many partners that she now has a high list of comparing.
But see, that's not even realistic, bro. I don't think that's realistic. because men do chase more than women do. That's the whole reason for adultery in the first place. Why they do it.
Princess, Princess, I don't know if you're answering the question.
No, I'm just rebuttaling what you're saying. As
Well,
far as you
well, so
saying women have been sleeping with or be thinking about all the other men that she thinking about because
yeah, I said this about men, both men and women, and what I was saying was because I was asking Elevate about the woman part, and I was saying that when you have more to compare to, and that's anything in life. If you've driven a lot of cars, then you could say Fords last like this, Toyotas last this way, the Volkswagens have this reliability, Jeeps have this reliability. You know that because of your experience with these cars, right? And so it's like that with people. When you spread yourself so thin with so wide, with so many sexual partners, that is natural for the comparing. You're saying that's not realistic?
I'm saying it's not realistic because I don't operate like that. My
Well,
experience
you,
is just
well,
that. I
well,
don't know how
princess,
people could be.
well,
Go ahead.
princess, you don't. But the question is not you.
I'm saying, well, if I'm generalizing it, but I'm the basis of the generalization. I don't see your experience is just that. You're supposed to learn from it and move forward. It's supposed to help you grow. And then if you're not growing, that's why you keep thinking about what was. I'm saving up. Living in the past. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know how people do that. Like,
Elevate, you understand my
Yeah,
point,
she's
right?
back. She's back in the chat now.
Yeah. What was I? I'm trying to think. I had a point and it just escapes me. It just escaped me. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's
Let
okay.
me ask Elevate, question.
Yeah.
You believe in God, right?
I believe in a higher power.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
believe in higher power. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, where do you get your morals from? I'm not trying to shave his time. I'm trying to go, because the way you speak and come across, it's like your standard, like Princess. Everybody have like their standard, a standard. Everybody, nope, that's my standard. I don't care what you do, that's my standard. And that's what I think a lot of females say condition. I love that word morals and standard instead of condition. Because morals, that mean I don't care what you do. These are my morals. That's a personal thing. And you don't let nobody violate that. Husband, wife, kids, that's your morals. You have to stand on that. You let people know, nah, we ain't doing that. Nope. So, or you, where did you get your morals from? Because it seemed to me that, I'm not going to say it's biblical, but just being real, straight up, real person, just being real,
Yeah. I believe more of an ebb and flow as opposed to like matter of fact, like these are my boxes. If you don't, check off these boxes, then like I'm not doing anything. Although I do believe in, basic respect, and I think that's where the ebb and flow comes into play, because if it's going to ebb into the realm of disrespect, the natural reaction is for that person to distance themselves. So I think it's kind of like automatic, but in terms of just like a basic set of like morals and ethics and everything that I believe in, part of it was definitely upbringing, but I mean, I think through like trials and tribulations of life in general also
I love
made
that.
me shift a couple of them.
I love that. You heard what you said? Life in general, and I'm glad, that you're saying that, because you know why? A lot of females need to think of that. Life in general. Life ain't no condition. It's real life. You have to adapt real quick. There ain't no condition in life. This is reality. But the condition is, I believe, when people put up these false conditions, it's not real. Because you don't know what's going to come tomorrow. Just like I was telling Unique earlier, what if your husband dropped dead tomorrow? What are you going to do? God forbid if anything happened. But you know what I mean? What if he can't work? What if he lost his job? You're looking for a way out. You're looking for a way out. I don't believe in that, because I believe if it's genuine love, and man, when that person had it going on, he did everything. So you know what? I'm going to support him. I'm going to raise his hand, honey. Things get better. Don't worry. You know, I'm going to hold it down. But I know you're the man. I know you know you're going to get a job. That's encouragement. It's the worst thing when you do the opposite to a man. You destroy his manhood, not his manhood, but his self-esteem. That's what you do. So when you keep putting a man down and like this and that, he feel like he's not worth nothing. And when a man don't worth nothing, what he don't do? He don't work. He don't use his brain. He just living, making stupid decisions. And a man is supposed to make wise decisions because he's a leader, and a woman is his helper, companion. So it's better to be both. Nothing is perfect. No marriage is perfect. But always saying, don't forget the bad times, because there gonna be some bad times. Like, man, we always talk about the bad times, cheating for that. No, we talking about it broke his arm, broke his leg. He's out of work for almost a year. We know disability not cutting it. You can't let that get to you. That's gonna mold you and shape you. But if you quit, you're going to carry the same baggage into the same relationship. Soon as the heat get hot, you jump out of the frying pan, but you went straight in the fire.
That's
You know,
true.
it is what it is, man. But I'm glad that everyone is sharing, Prince is sharing a point of view. No, like you said, no one is wrong. Listen, life is a journey, man. It's a journey. That's why it's very important that we treat each other like brothers and sisters. Because you never know when you're gonna need somebody help, man. You never know when you're gonna need someone help, and it could be anyone. You don't know. You just don't know.
Big thing too is that a lot of people operate off the premise of expectations. And I love the Buddhist teaching where anything you cling on to unnecessarily is the source of suffering. Because it's true.
You know what that's called? Burden. It's called burden. Anything you hold on to hinder you. It could be anything that hinder you to accomplish something positive and good that you know is good. It's a hinderer. And a hinder could be a person too. It could be your husband. It could be your wife. But you got to understand some of the things that people say. They bring those things in their life. Like, this and that. You go into a marriage. The first thing, condition. This is my list. You're not living your life together. You're not living. You're not creating good memories and good things to grow. Even if that person make a mistake, damn man, he made a mistake. Damn, honey, I got to think about this. Just give me a week. Let me think about it. Even if you don't talk, but you have some type of agreement that you're not going to leave it like that. And even if the person cheated, even if the person went to jail, whatever it is, lose their job, whatever it is, but you at least have to give that person a chance. Because if you say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you, I can't stand that. I don't know how a woman could say, I love you, but I'm not in love with you. I don't understand what that means. Is there two different love, ladies, when it comes? Can you explain? You know what I mean? Anyone could explain in the chat? I love you, but I don't love you. I don't understand that one. I don't.
Once again, that goes back to the idea I said earlier that a lot of people misconstrue what love actually is, and they think love is infatuation, and it's not reality. Because you can't ever, if you actually legitimately love someone, there's no such thing as quote unquote falling out of love. You can fall out of infatuation 110%, but you can't fall out of love with someone, no matter how bad they hurt you.
What you say about Mr. Fifth? How you doing, Mr. Fifth? You all right over there? You good? I know he's heading to work. Man, we've been on for what? Princess, how long we been on? For like 3 hours? We've been on since 2. So we've been on for 2 hours. Is it 2 hours? Yeah.
It's three. It's 3. 1 o'clock.
3 hours. 3 hours going on. 3 and a
Yeah,
half hours.
I'm here. I need to end the stream. So if anybody has, all right, for the people who are trying to join, I gotta end it. All right. Because we've been on for since 1 p.m. Eastern time. I know a lot of people are fourth quarter
Yeah.
players, but hey, I mean, we can't be on forever because I got to work, and
Yeah.
so does my brother. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Listen,
Um,
we have those Mr. Fifth, we have those who stream for like 6 hours, but unfortunately, this is not one of them podcasts. I'm sorry. That's a lot of
nah,
work, man.
it's a lot of work. I mean, it's when you don't. I mean, when it's your only job, I can understand that. You know, but when you got other stuff going on, it's hard to do a stream like that. You know what I'm saying? But shout outs to the ones that do, that have been so good at what they do that they're able to make money off of YouTube and TikTok and IG or whatever, and that's able to provide a living for them. That's not the case for me and Mr. Yard Chat. We still got to go to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's
sir.
where most of our income comes from. It doesn't come from social media yet. All right. Hey, Elevate. You have any final thoughts? I'm gonna give you that opportunity.
I don't think so. I think that does it for right now.
Okay, Elevate. Come back Tuesday afternoon. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Okay.
And also Elevate on the 8th of February on Your Chat, on the Your Chat podcast on YouTube. We have our first panel of guests on the platform, and the topic is mental illness. So what I mean, maybe I would love to invite you on, but unfortunately this panel right now is filled. But what I mean, you could always be on the next the next one, because we're gonna try to have at least twice a month, these lives, and hopefully the first topic, mental illness. Come on over to YouTube and Your Chat, Mr. Fifth on YouTube. We all on you. Come on over on the 8th of February, 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
All right, yeah. If you could send me like the username or like how to
Yeah, I
access
would
it.
send you that. Yeah. Also, I think I started following you too. I think I did. I think yeah. So what I mean. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, Elevate. See you next time,
All right.
Mr. Yard.
All right,
Before
brother.
you go, and we'll
Yes.
do this in front of people on the live. Let's announce our other socials. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Yard Chat.
Okay. Yeah. You can follow me on Facebook, Wesley Yard Chat. You can follow me on Instagram, Yard Chat, and you can follow me on YouTube, Yard Chat. If you want to follow me on TikTok, Yard Chat. And I think I'm on Twitter, but X, but I don't use it. It's Yard Chat. I don't really.
Yeah, same here. There's a reason why I don't use Twitter as much anymore, but I'll give it out for people. I am at the Fifth General, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On YouTube, Fifth General TV, and on TikTok, Fifth General TV. All right. What else I want to say? So this was a good stream. Too bad, I didn't hit the algorithm like I wanted to with this topic, but hey, it's all good. There's always another day, another stream. Once again, me and Mr. Yard Chat, we stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays afternoons.
Yes,
1
sir.
p.m. Eastern Time, 12 Central, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Okay? All right. We appreciate y'all. We have new topics every episode. We like to be diverse in that way. Okay? All right. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace out, Mr. Yard.
All right, man. All
All
right.
right.